Mr. Eric White, dude, I'm pumped about tonight. Like anytime we have like two guests stacked up, I get really anxious as we lead in because I'm like, man, there's so much news that we got to cover in such a quick time. But man, once we get kind of like backstage and talking about all the stuff that's coming, dude, I get so excited. So,
Yep.
anyways, guys, welcome to episode 154 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Huge episode tonight. We're talking about Drop the Hammer, Speedfest, Rocky Mountain Race Week, Streetcar Challenge, Street Weekend UK, and 11 events that happen in June. It's going to be insane. Larry Larson has returned to Dragon Drive. The Diehl Brothers take home a bunch of trophies at Speedfest. Carl Stancell III and the Drop the Hammer team are going to be on to talk about what they did right and wrong. It's going to be cool about Drop the Hammer event. And then, of course, Brian Acton and Jay Blanchard three-peated at Drop the Hammer. So they're on tonight to talk about their 545 index class. And I think I'm going to slip in some of their stuff from the circuit as well. So, Mr. Eric, if you'll hit the intro, let's do the same.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, man. Well, again, guys, welcome to episode 154 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Again, huge show tonight. My name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of this episode and the news that happens on Saturday. And this Saturday is going to be a fun one because I'll be on site at Rocky Mountain Race Week. And then my co-host, my right-hand man, Mr. Eric White. What you got going on, dude?
I am Eric White, co-host of both the show and the news, and we are still hammering away at this circuit photos. Day one is complete. Everything has been uploaded. Plan is to get those all on the Pixie site here in the next couple days, and then we'll start on day two.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your hard work. We have, or you have, not we, you have completely updated. There's like thousands of photos over on the pixieset.com/drag driver Pete site that people can go over there and look at and purchase. They can do prints and purchase the high res photos and digital photos and all that kind of stuff. So, man, I appreciate your hard work, and I hope the folks out there in social media land appreciate it as well. Because while we put the photos online for everybody to see there as well, these are the ones you would want to print. You don't want to print the ones that we put on Facebook and stuff like that because they're not high res and they have watermarks and all that kind of stuff on it. So,
Yep, for
so
sure.
pretty awesome. One thing that makes the world go round on photos is seeing our race car friends. Like this photo here is great because race car friends abound in this photo. So appreciate everybody and all they do for us, man. We really, as we're working through some major updates for a lot of really cool stuff, we, you guys are patient with us. We appreciate that, but then also you're supportive. So thank you for all of that stuff. And of course, our sponsors. Can't do it without these guys. So if you're doing some shopping, we'd appreciate if you would reach over there and click that button and hit them up. Summit Racing, of course, our title sponsor here of the show and the news and the circuit event that just happened a couple weeks ago. And we have some big news for Summit update here in just a second as well. Deechworks, of course, the official field delivery of Drag Driver Pete. Those guys are awesome. Racer Party sponsor for the circuit. Feed the Racer sponsors for our street and strip series. I mean, it's pretty fun for them. Molly Motorsports, one of our longest running sponsor programs here. You got Molly Pistons in your car. Lots of Molly Pistons across the drag and drive world out there. And of course, Driven Racing Oil, who you're going to get to hang out with at Six Summer here in just a few days.
Yep.
Should be kind of fun there. Howard's Cams, of course, Luke B, valve train specialist over there. JWire Solutions, who's going to be on later tonight to talk about their experience at Drop the Hammer and, of course, the circuit. AFCO Racing Products, who was at War in the Woods. Dude, did you see all the interviews Eric Saffel did at War in the Woods? It was incredible.
That was awesome.
Big shout out to them. And I've been watching a bunch of the War in the Woods passes. Oh, my gosh, it scares me. And I hope that George Ray's The Short Circuit is just like it. So that was a pretty wild experience. Performer Built Transmissions, of course, best GM transmission builder on the game. Car Change 3D, dude. If you need anything 3D printed, just hit Corey up. He's got keychain stuff. He's got cup holders. He's got lights that clip to your roll bars. I mean, like that's where it's at. And of course, Low Dollar Motorsports, our daily burnout sponsor. So if you need all of your stuff to act like it should and you need data to support that, Low Dollar Motorsports is definitely where it's at. All right. Well, speaking of Summit, let's let Mr. Brian Loans tell us about how awesome they are. And then we're going to get into why they're one of our favorite ones right now.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
And dude, you know what I didn't do?
You didn't put it in there.
No, heck no. Why would I do that? So guys, a few months ago, we started working with Summit and the team over there for what we're going to call like a curated list of drag and drive parts and pieces that kind of span the entire bit of everything, I guess is what the best way to put this. So the Summit team have been working really hard, and I'm going to bring it up on screen now, but they are so freaking cool. Can you see that?
Now I can. Yep.
Okay, so they have built out a page on summitracing.com that you can literally go in, and it is drag driver repeats from recommended products. Now, this is part of our affiliate deal and all that kind of stuff that goes along with it. So we're going to make this link public. Obviously, we're sending it out in all the newsletters. That'll be on Friday. Is our next newsletter that goes out, and of course on the website and all that kind of stuff. But very early on, we wanted to do this because we feel like this is something that is, man, people ask so many times, what should I bring? What should I put in the trailer and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to Tommy Dupree, Red Hat Scotty, Richard Brewer, all those kind of guys that kind of gave some insight into parts and pieces that should be on this list. Now, this list is not car specific, so we're not going to put like a LS alternator on here or LS lifters or big block Ford rocker arms, things like that. This is going to be a list that would be good for all of your parts and pieces for your drag and drive trailer. So you can see like canopies, it's got fuel jugs, it's got the Summit Racing hand towels, you've got fuel pumps there, all that kind of stuff. Of course, the big brim hats and the baseball caps from Drag Drive Repeat, and hoodies and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to Summit for basically letting us kind of stretch our legs and do that. That was kind of fun to mess with, and we're going to continually add to that. So I'm asking for folks to message us, tell us what parts that you keep in your trailer that are something that's kind of universal. And big shout out to Richard Brewer again. He sent me like his entire list of stuff that he's camping with, and we're going to gather all that up because they worked hard to get this done. I don't want to immediately put something right on their back. So
yeah.
So big shout out to Summit and say thanks to them. So
yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to build that out. I think over the next, few weeks and months, it'll be full of cool stuff that you can just click the affiliate link, go on there, and then it'll be right on that homepage. You can purchase it right from there.
Yep. And of course, the affiliate link you can find at the top of our website, or any link on our website, but you can also find it at the top of our Facebook page as well. It's one of the pinned posts there. And of course, if the products qualify, I guess probably the best way to say that, we do get a little bit of a commission on that. So we'd appreciate any help that you could provide with that, because that helps us do more with more. So, all right, Drag Drive Repeat updates. Dude, the old truck is about to kick my ass. Like, so it has blown the passenger side exhaust gasket out. Well, of course, that's the log manifold side. So I've got to completely remove the turbo and the turbo mount and like all the stuff. And with the change that Tulsa's made on website stuff, I just haven't had the time to really dig in and spend a few hours at a time. But I got to, man. I leave Friday morning for Great Bend, Kansas, and I need it.
Some good stuff here. Small propane, matte gas tanks for torches, and grills should definitely be in the trailer.
Oh man, that's a good one.
And beer, energy drinks, and Canopy, the bear essentials.
Yeah, and that dude should know. He's done 3 drag and drive events in the last 3 weeks, so I think he should know what's up. But the old truck is again just kind of kicking my ass, and I'm back on it tomorrow morning first thing. Instead of taking a walk, I'm gonna do that and get that thing wrapped up, and then should hopefully have no issues cruising that thing up to Great Bend for day 0 and day 1 of Rocky Mountain Race Week.
That'll be
And
exciting.
then, oh, dude, I'm so ready. How about 17 days until 2-lane throwdown?
Yep.
Where has time gone? It was just March, right? Like
it
March
feels like it.
So 2-lane throwdown. This is exciting. A lot of really cool stuff happening in the Motorama event side of stuff. They've got some high-level cars that will be in town and will be at the track, because that is also the same weekend as the Mid-America Ford and Shelby Route 66 Nationals, which is a huge, like thousands of Fords are going to be in town. So it's going to be kind of fun to hang out with them that morning. And then, of course, the 2-lane throwdown folks will be racing during the test and tune portion of the Ford and Shelby Nationals. So, dude, we could really get an opportunity to introduce drag and drive to a ton of really cool people. So I'm excited about this event. This is really, really a big one. Again, $125 if you sign up early, or it's $125 if you are a previous circuit or drag drive repeat event participant, and then it's $150 for everyone else.
How far is it from Byron to Tulsa?
Yeah,
like 10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours. I hinted at this last week, but I don't have all the stuff done yet. We have big news that's coming for the short circuit, but I can't release it yet. If you watched episode 153, when a certain promoter was on here, we hinted at a few things that should give you some clues for what's coming. But this is going to be a ton of fun. You're going to want to sign up for the circuit again, or the short circuit again. July 17th will be previous event participant registration, and then July 18th will be open to the public, if we even get to the public. I'm telling you, there's people that message me about this 2 or 3 times a week that are like, hey, where do I sign up? Sorry, this AC is like kicking me in the throat big time here. And then lastly, this was really cool to me. As we go through each month, I go back to the previous month and see where we're at numbers wise, see the reach and all that kind of stuff that we do, and make sure that we're doing the right stuff and we're not falling off in any way. Well, I'll tell you this, we didn't fall off at all in the month of May 2020. Nope. Absolutely insane. So I just wanted to bring this to light and give a big shout out to you. Obviously, a lot of stuff came from your side, stuff from Jesse Fox, Richard Brewer posting some stuff, and of course our boys Joe and Brian, both who are just rock stars when it comes to this stuff. 96 posts over on Instagram, 184 posts on Facebook. That includes all the shares and stuff like that we've done, and 94 videos on YouTube. Dude, it's incredible to me. So I thought I would kind of recap a little bit of YouTube stuff. 47 shorts, that's more than one a day. That should get us in the algorithm, you would think. 36 like standalone videos, which are cut down portions of this show, or like we did a Race Car Friends member Back to the Streets video. We've done 3 days of the circuit video. I mean, like there's all kinds of stuff, right? So 36 videos of those and 11 live streams in the month of May. Absolutely.
That is insane.
Yeah. So that's almost 3 a week live streams on average, just on YouTube itself. So big shout out to those guys.
Definitely makes me feel like we're providing the coverage that we say we want to do. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of content. What did you say it was, like 10 posts a day?
Yeah, it's more than 10. It's 370 something posts, 374 posts. So when you add that together, that's pretty stellar. And of course, like there's so much more news we could put out. I struggle because half the time I'm like, man, should I just go live and talk about this or make it an article? And a lot of times I make it an article or a post. So maybe 94 turns into 110 next month. Or for the month of June. I don't know. But big shout out to the whole Drag Driver Beat team. I appreciate you guys. When I say I want to be the source for drag and drive news and entertainment, man, that should show right there. We're serious about this. That doesn't even include the website posts. That doesn't include the articles that are written over there and all the stuff that goes on over there as well. So anyways, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Race Car Friends member updates. This is another big one. If you don't know what the Race Car Friends member is, basically $10 a month for folks that sign up outside of PRI. It basically, well, you can go to the website. It's down there on the bottom of the screen. You can look at all what you get and all that kind of stuff. In my walk this morning, I was like, I need to do more with this group. And of course, as we move into, the busy season of Drag and Drive here with 11 events in June, I wanted to find out what everybody's got going on. So I just started messaging all of our Race Car Friends members. I didn't get to everybody, but I got to, I would say about 10% of them, really probably 20% of them going through there. And I've got an email newsletter that'll go out tomorrow that is going to update just the Race Car Friends members. So that'll be kind of fun for the updates I have. So this is becoming a new part of my daily thing here. So I'm going to start, following up with these folks because this is how we're going to be able to tell more stories, right? The first story I want to tell is one of the coolest ones, and it's Red Hat Scotty. Dude, this guy has put together what he's calling the Cheeseburger Battle. It is a shootout between 4 folks in the 10-0 index class. So the great thing is they're going to be able to use their passes in this shootout format for their averages. It's not like a heads up, go all out type deal. So that's cool. So 10-0 minimum pass. It is Red Hat Scotty, Jesse Hazlitt in the only non-Ford Mustang in this group. Okay, Jesse Hazlitt. You guys know that name. We've talked about him quite a bit. Tom Bagley, who is working on his car currently, and Nico Christofori, who is laid out some of the biggest burnouts the other night in his car. He posted to a group chat that I'm a part of, and bro, it's going to be awesome. They're going to be side by side, no quicker than 10-0. Each round winner gets a cheeseburger from the loser. And then I guess there's one winner at the end because they're doing a 4-car shootout. And then I guess everybody is going to buy that dude dinner. How fun
like
is
it.
This is, and I put in the notes in an article I'm writing, but this is why we featured Red Hat Scotty as one of the backbone of Drag and Drive in our last article. This is the kind of stuff that makes it fun. This is the kind of stuff that everybody in this list has done multiple Drag and Drives before. It's not new to them. It's not fresh, but this is a way to kind of make it that next step. So the plan is to run these at Pueblo, which is day 4 of racing for Rocky Mountain Race Week. So once we kind of have a timeline of that, we'll be able to kind of give you guys an update. Be watching the Bank Shift live stream is kind of what I'm pointing at here. And in this photo, Red Hat Scotty is actually holding Jesse's oil pan, not oil pan, engine pan that he's delivering on day 1 because somebody in Kansas City built it. And Jesse doesn't live in Kansas City. So Red Hat Scotty's going to hand deliver it. I mean, just dude, that's why the Race Car Friends are such an awesome group.
Yeah. It's a comment here. Jesse running 10s after that wild wheelie at Speedfest. Going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah. And that's probably why the engine pan's there.
That would be my guess as well.
Yep. And just one other update here from one of our Race Car Friends members. Tommy Dupree took second and naturally aspirated at Drop the Hammer, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute with Carl Stancell and the team over there. So big shout out to them. Again, if you want to get involved with the Race Car Friends members and support us in that way, again, $10 a month, dragdriverpete.com/racecarfriends-member. All right, sir. Tell us about some driven stuff now that I've talked for 19 minutes, bro. Why'd you let me do that?
All good. I'll hit this ad read and then we'll jump in. We got a ton of stuff here to cover. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high-zine formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat-tapped camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Red Hat Scotty saying we've all been faster than 10s, but the 10-0 index will level the playing field for dinner. All right. Well, ton of driven stuff coming up here. Again, code DDR10 gets you a 10% discount on the Driven Racing Oil website. So kicking off here first, the first thing we got is registration opened up 2 days ago for Olympic Streetcar Shootout, so on June 1st. So that is open right now, August 7th through 9th at Bremerton Raceway in Washington. This one is like way up northwest. So if you're in that area, this is the event for you. Again, registration is open. It opened up 2 days ago. So again, if this is in your area, head over there and support them. Get signed up for that event. The next thing here we got is the Road Trip Drag Challenge. So they've got their number 2 event coming up here shortly, but they just announced their final round or their 3rd event for the year. That's going to be November 6th through 8th at Bennerby Dragway in Australia. So pretty awesome. They've been running 3 events per year now. So this is their last one that will be coming out. So all of the dates are out for Road Trip Drag Challenge number 2 and 3.
Nice.
And Buckeye Skips, this just happened like this morning, released 20 additional entries today. So if you didn't get into Buckeye Skips, again, starts June 29th here at the end of the month. There's probably less than 20 open now, but the post was this morning, 20 additional entries. So they're not going to last long. Jump over there, get signed up for that. I'm sure he will let us know here in the comments how many are left, but don't wait on this one because this one is already sold out. Again, they added 20 extra seats.
That's pretty cool. I love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at our busy calendar for the month, we've got Street Weekend, June 4th through 7th, 2 days, or actually 1 day away. 1 day for that. Streetcar Challenge, June 4th. Yeah, tomorrow. Streetcar Challenge, also the 4th through the 7th. That is tomorrow. Rocky Mountain Race Week, the 5th through the 12th. That's in 2 days. 2 days Rocky Mountain Race Week starts.
Man, bring it on. I can't wait.
Yeah, Alaska Speed Week, the 8th through the 13th, 5 days away. So coming up here very quick. 6th Summer, which I will be at June 15th through 20th, 12 days away. BC Drag It Challenge, the 17th through 22nd, 14 days away. Home Quarter Dragon Drive, the 19th through 21st, is 16 days away. 2-Lane Throwdown that you just talked about earlier, June 20th, which is 17 days away. East Coast Dragon Drive, the 26th through the 28th, is 23 days away. The Great American Detour, one of the biggest events that we're ever going to have, from New York to California, the 27th through July 4th, 24 days away. And then rounding out the month, Buckeye Skips, June 29th through July 3rd, 26 days away.
Man, that's crazy. That is so crazy.
Yeah, and we talked about it, I think, on Saturday, but June 20th right there is the busiest day in June. We've got 4 events going on June 20th.
Man, that's probably the busiest day of the year.
It could be.
Man, crazy.
Yeah, there's only 7 days this month without an event going on.
Jeez.
So when you talk about those social media posts that we made for May, if there's this many events going on, we're going to definitely be making lots of posts on updates of everything.
Oh, yeah. Man, that's wild to think that's incredible. Derek Putnam saying, is saying Monday through Friday. He's got the 14th through the 19th, but I don't know.
June 15th is Monday.
Yeah.
And June 19th is Friday.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, anyways.
So maybe June 20th I have wrong because I have it Monday through Saturday.
Oh, I got you. Because I think typically they've finished on Saturdays with Sick Week and Sick Summer, right? I thought that was a big thing, so they could go, they could get there and get all their stuff done. Anyways, sorry.
Yep, all good. Other news, speaking of the mag, Jesse Fox is going to Rocky Mountain Race Week and is going to be capturing photos and stories for the Sick Mag write-up. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Be on the lookout for Jesse Fox taking some incredible photos. So if you see him, make sure you give a good smile and a wave to him while he's taking pictures.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to hang out with him. It's going to be fun. And dude, look how long his hair is, man.
It's getting long. All right. So Sick Summer has released their routes and the route stops. So just looking at the route stops for this year, Rush Creek Distilling again, Historic Auto Attractions again. We've got Lena Brewing Company, Labruski Lanes and Lounge, Motion Raceworks, Poopies, Rock Falls Mini Block Party this year.
Nice. And
a Freeport block party. So going to be some new things going on there, which is exciting.
Yeah, I really like the Rock Falls, man. That's really. I would love to find a town here on the circuit next year that we can throw a big block party again. That was a blast.
Yep. Eric will never get all the pics done. He's gone 100 years old talking about all them photos from Sick Summer 26. I think it was like 4,500 photos I took.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I always say I'm going to take less next year, and I never do. So we'll see what we get this year.
Yeah.
Pistons and the Pines up next. They did make a post of where they are at currently. 80 participants signed up. So 40 in the DYO class, 14 in small tire, 14 in stick shift, 6 in tailgate, 3 in gasser hot rod, 2 in big tire, and 1 in all-wheel drive.
Man, so do you move the all-wheel drive guy to big tire?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what class that fits into.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if it's all-wheel drive, you just add the two on each side. You just add those together. That's a big tire car.
Yeah. And we still got a month and a half-ish until this event, so obviously they could still get more entries before then, but that is where they are currently at.
That's awesome.
And in other news, this guy right here announcing for the third year in a row at Heads Up Hustle.
Yeah, I'm pumped to be back here, man. It's going to be so cool. And there's been people messaging me like, how about this Ralph Rugg? They're bringing both cars. So they're going to have her car and his car, and they're going to be running them heads up all weekend. So it's going to be a good time. He put a different motor in the truck, and so they should be pretty close is what he's saying.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. I'm excited for you for that. And last bit of news, which isn't really news. This is all that's been posted, but it's definitely got us intrigued over here. Bragging Rights Stick Shift World Championship. I don't know what it means yet.
It's going to be awesome.
Nothing's been released, but this sounds like it's going to be pretty badass.
Yeah. And so, of course, we messaged Nate. We're like, dude, give us anything. Tell us anything. He's like, man, it's all still in the works. I can't give you anything yet. He wouldn't even give us what date he's going to make the announcement on.
Right.
So that's okay. Nate, please remember us when it's time, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty awesome. So be on the lookout for that, for when that announcement comes, especially for all of our stick shift racing race car friends.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And Rich Guido did make a comment in that post and was like, looks like I'm going to be driving again.
Right. All right. Well, that puts us at 50 events for the year. Again, you can find all those at dragdriverepeat.com/events. So that link has changed. Again, we don't have to worry about the year anymore. This makes it a little bit easier. So dragdriverepeat.com/events. That is in the chat. Again, interactive map and the list of all the events. So head over there and check that out.
Brooks, you're saying I'm dying to know. Dude, us too, bro. Us too. All right. Well, let's talk about some Molly Motorsport stuff. I'll hit the video here and then we'll we'll go into all the updates for Speedfest.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together, so all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
Big shout out to Molly and the team over there. I mean, dude, look, like, is that one that's going in the car? Because that would be awesome.
This one's not. I wish it was. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's you have a laser engraver, right?
Oh yeah, it's sitting right here off screen.
Yeah. Well, I was just say you probably need to engrave the factory pistons if you were going to leave those in, so we can see, put money on which one goes bye-bye first. But Molly, that's not going to be the case.
Hey, we still have the old blown up engine over at Dan's house in the garage. So if we need to do some testing, we've got a motor to do that on.
Nice. Speedfest updates. I just want to go through these results before we get into the J-Wire segment and talk to Carl and the team at Drop the Hammer. So next week we are going to have Derek Putnam and the Diehl Brothers on to talk about Speedfest and kind of all the stories that come in there. I'm excited for this. We're going to give them like a full 90 minutes is basically my plan. Derek is probably going to be like at this point, a guest co-host. I think it's probably the best way to word that. As we move into this one, I'm pumped about this. Dustin Carlington, of course, picks. Had to throw his picture up because that dude has done 3 events in literally a month. So he's a stud. Car count 65 cars over here. Thought that was pretty awesome for them. I don't know what the total was for Streetcar Takeover and bragging rights, but we're going to get into all that next week. I just, man, it's so hard because us drag and drive folks, the people that collect all the not data but like the racer names and like the standings and all that kind of stuff, dude, they don't do a very good job, or we do a good job of that. Other events, not so good. Not so good, so kind of tough. So we're going to talk about all that with them, and I'm hoping that gives me time for all those other events to post up their stuff. So DYO shootout won by Jeff Opperman, Opfermann. The 6.7s, which this class, if you watched Tom's newest or one of his videos from last week, talked about how important this class is. And it's really been talked about a bunch. Of Diehl Brothers talked about it when they were on our show, talking about this 750 index type deal, because you really go from street race power adder to 670s. There's really nothing for those mid 7-second cars. And there's a ton of those cars that are out there. So this was the first attempt at 6.7s, and it sounds like it went well. A lot of fast cars. Great opportunity for them to test it here at Speedfest. So it looks like they had 5 cars. Big shout out to David Diehl, who won the shootout side of it. Again, they did a 3-day or a 3-pass deal to get an average, and that set your standings. So I kind of like how they did that. Craig Douglas, another big name we know in drag and drive stuff, 754 with an 8 out of the 70 dart. I mean, come on. Right. And then, of course, Tim Blythe, who was the quickest overall average in the Triumph. And then Barry Cook. We know Barry is very fast. He's been several 850 passes in the car. Now, 798. Come on. Do you want some of that? And then Jim Treadle, we know that 67 Pontiac Firebird, that green one. Rounding out last place, must have spun or some 15-7 out of that class. So I'll let you do the 850 shootout because there's some other big names that we know in there as well.
Yeah, so taking home the win on that, Jeremy Ortiz in the Nissan 240SX, 852 with a 1. So congratulations to him. He's at home doing some maintenance on the car now to get ready to run 850s at Six Summer. Second place here, Blaine Thiessen in the 91 Isuzu pickup, 852 with an 8. So real close to Jeremy there. Cameron Alley, a local guy to me here, right in town, probably 5-10 minutes from my house, actually. 97 Ford Mustang, the orange Mustang, 858 with a 7, who should also be at Six Summer. Ronald Wambo in a 2015 Corvette, 1015. And then Chris Mary in the G8 with a 14.7, tied with Will Owens in a Plymouth Barracuda with also a 14.7.
Yeah,
14.7, 4 with a 5, both of them.
right. Chris said that he in a post, and I meant to grab it, but we'll talk about it next week. His car like ran PBs and was the quickest it had been, and this is like the second time it's been out, maybe something like that. So car is moving on. I saw him. He was actually, he said he ran a 8:55 with a 3 in the shootout. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep.
Then 7th, Cameron McConchy in the Ranger. We have Chad Smith in a 13 Mustang with an 8.476. And then Gabby Luan in the 93 Mustang with an 8.495.
Yeah, man, dang, that's crazy. That is crazy. So I'm excited to hear how this format went and how the heads up racing and all that kind of stuff went down. And again, like Derek said, appreciate all the people that came out to Speedfest despite an iffy forecast. I mean, it did rain on them a little bit, and that's part of drag and drive life, man. You know, we don't stay away. We're not shy. We're not scared of any rain. So that's always a big plus. So kind of cool to see, again, just everybody's testing the waters. That's what's great about these weekend events. We don't have a certain format that these have to fit in. So we're trying all kinds of different ways as they go through the year and all that stuff. All right. Again, big shout out to Molly Motorsports. We appreciate them. If you guys need the best pistons in the game, Molly is the place to go. We can get you in touch with Eric Grillo or George Wright or Adam, any of the guys over there. We can get you set up and get you some pistons on the way. But the pistons, they really don't do any straight to the public. So they are there for tech support and things like that, and then tell you which ones to get. And then you slide over to Summit Racing and purchase those. So,
yes, sir.
All right, J-Wire Solutions, and let's bring in Mr. Carl after we do the ad read there.
All right.
What's up, guys? My name is Cole from Fort Worth, Texas. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, hell, even your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience way better, like their blinker module that is just a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Find all the details at jwiresolutions.com.
Oh, for sure. All right. This is going to be a fun one. Carl has been on before. I can't remember if he was on before or after the event last year, but you guys know Drop the Hammer has grown from just a single event just 3 years ago to now 3 total events across the year. They've got Drop the Hammer, which is their mainstay. They've got North Carolina, another weekend event that's out there. And then they also have new this year, Judgment Day, which we're going to talk about at the end before we let Carl go, because I think this is going to be a fun one. Because again, another single day drag and drive event that's out there. They do the format a little different, which I like. Again, we're going to test the waters here. We're going to see what works and all this stuff. So let's bring on Mr. Carl Stancell, promoter, founder, creator, total badass of all Drop the Hammer stuff. But dude, are you in a race truck?
Yeah, I am.
I like your style, man. I like your style.
I had to get out of the house, and everybody at the shop is getting loaded up and ready for this weekend's another event they're going to this weekend. So
nice.
Jumped in the truck and went out somewhere where it's quiet.
Nice. In your street truck as you drove over somewhere to park and set up. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, you don't need any introduction. You've done drag and drive for a long time. You guys, I didn't grab a picture of your Blazer because I'm a dumbass, but you drive a flat black or satin black square body S10 Blazer that's very fast, very consistent, and just goes out and kicks ass. And then you said, hey, I've done enough. I want to host one. And that's where Drop the Hammer comes from.
Yeah. It was actually, we started it in 22.
Oh, wow.
Okay, 23. I'm sorry, 23. Okay. On the way back from sick week, people were saying that, they wanted to, from my area, wanted something they could go do on the weekend. That's kind of where the idea started.
Yeah, dude, I dig it. I love it. It's an event that was on my list early in the year, and then sadly, back to the streets and your event were just too close. I couldn't make that turnaround work. So it is on my list for 27. I promise. I'm coming up no matter what.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah, I'm in. I should have came this year, but man, I couldn't be gone from the house that long. Because I should have just came straight from back to the streets to you guys. Just rode with Matt Lang. That would have been better.
Yeah.
Is this your biggest year so far, car count wise?
It is. It is. The car count wasn't a whole lot bigger than last year. Last year we had 117 racers. This year we had 120.
Yeah.
Last year we had 14 cruisers and we had 18 this year. So it's up a couple.
Yeah.
But it didn't get smaller. So that's the important, the important thing.
Man, I'll tell you, that car count is a great number because people get plenty of passes. The group is not hard to manage. You get much more than that. It gets really hard to manage. But this is what surprises me about DYO, and I want to get your opinion from another promoter standpoint. You had 49 cars or 52 cars in regular in the other classes, right? And we're going to go through all those here in just a second. But 66 cars in DYO. Man, like some of the people could have snuck over and maybe got a podium in the other classes if they have done that. Do you feel like DYO kind of becomes a not necessarily a catch-all, but it's the spot where everybody feels like they can jump in and be competitive?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more, from a racer standpoint, all I got to be is consistent. If I could be consistent and nothing against them, but they're the slower cars. So they don't have to go back to the lanes and do all kinds of prep work to be able to make another pass. So they can just keep going around in circles and chopping away at that number to get that number. Whereas, if you're in some of the faster classes, you got to have prep time, so you can't make very many passes. And, obviously, that, the faster classes, the budgets are, it takes a little bit bigger budget.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, DYO is a fun class, and you guys use the same format that SICK kind of created too, right? Where it's the spread of your quickest and slowest pass.
That is correct.
Yeah, I love that. That's the way we do at the circuit too. And it, to me, I mean, shout out to them because they created a great way that's much easier for us promoters to sort and figure and all that kind of stuff. And the first year we had people trying to give us a dial in and then make a pass, bro. Throw that out the window, man.
That doesn't work that way.
No. And then the next year we set their first pass as their baseline. Oh my gosh, that was even worse because I don't know bracket racing stuff. And so man, it was a good time. So anyways, SICK did a great job creating that, and I think it's cool. All right, well, big news. You had Sean Skipper there, very fast car. This car just won unlimited. This car's been on a tear. I mean, it's done well at SICK Week. It's done well at Havlicks last year. It did great at your event. Ends up winning overall. Quickest average 4.706 average, and I thought these passes were pretty cool. So 4.708 for the first one, 4.84 for the second pass at Northern Michigan, and then a 4.56 for the second quickest pass of the event, which I thought was badass for Sean. Big shout out to Leslie Fogel here for posting up these pictures. I snagged this one, so I definitely want to give photo credit to them. But 4.706, man, this car had to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty wild to watch it. He actually, in testing on Thursday night, clicked off a 460. So he was getting her dialed in, getting her ready.
Yeah, he said, "Hold my beer, let's do this."
Exactly.
Probably one of the biggest stories to come to Drag and Drive in at least the last 10 years. Larry Larson is back, came to your event, debuted or re-entered the Drag and Drive market at Drop the Hammer, which I thought was really, really cool. And big props to you for him doing this there. And man, looks like he had a good time and went fast. Yeah,
he did. He told me after he made his last pass on Sunday that there was more in it. He just didn't have enough time to get things set up and make another hit.
Man, that's awesome. I can't wait. And this, I feel like the tracks and stuff you had, and hopefully the weather you had was something that'll be similar to him for Drag Week. His 481 average, listen to these numbers that it came from. So 481 average, he ended up with a 464 on day one, a 549 on day two, just couldn't make it happen there. And then a 430 with a 7 on day three. And sorry, I didn't do the math. I didn't do the history lookup on this, but I think that's probably the quickest pass in Drop the Hammer history.
It is for sure. I think, I think last year was in the 40s
Wow.
for the fastest pass. But yeah, he killed it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting to have him back in the mix of all the drag and drive stuff here. And I'm sure once he got done, he was like, okay, yeah, now I remember why I like this so much.
Yeah. No, he had a good time. We'll cross our fingers, but he's talking about coming back next year.
Man, that'd be awesome. That's awesome. Steve Morse, third place in Unlimited, 497 average, best ET of a 467. So,
And he did that on radials. He's back. He's on radials now. So
yeah,
that
dude,
was
that's
pretty
great.
good.
Yeah, I love that car on a set of radials. That just looks incredible.
Then we move into the NA class, the naturally aspirated class. Jeremiah Kirby in an 800 plus cubic inch Chevelle. You can see that on the screen for those watching. That thing is gnarly. 4,999 average.
That's getting
That
it.
is wild.
That's getting it. Yeah, that motor's actually 500 or 815 cubic inches.
Oh my gosh. Yes. When they were at Heads Up Hustle last year, they were talking about this. That was the last event they did with the small motor, which I think was like a 655 or some shit like that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing rocked.
Yeah.
And then second place there, Tommy Dupree with a 649 with a 2. So coming out with
Tommy.
two good events in the new car.
Yeah. No, it was good. Nice to see him out there and enjoyed having him there with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Then for stick shift, looks like you guys had 3 cars. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, 4.
So-
I think one dropped out but yeah. We had three places and then one.
Chip Appleton won that with a 7308. Do you remember what was Chris driving? Or Chip, sorry.
I want to say it was a Mustang.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a Mustang. Next up, the next class is tailgates and 28s, which I think everybody's going to like this story. This is actually the cream puff from Cameron Johnson Race Cars. Just found that out today. So Cameron Johnson made a post showing off this photo. I thought that was pretty cool. Tag dropped the hammer. I thought that was awesome. He won tailgates and 28s. This is Philip Denbeston, I guess is how you would say that, with a 599 average out of a little less 10. Did I put a photo? Nope. Dadgummit, because he's going to be on here in just a minute. But let's run through the rest of the classes. Eric will just alternate between these if you want to start with the 545 index.
Yep, 545 index had 8 cars, and Brian Acton took that one with a 546.7 average and a best ET of 545 with an 8. So
You don't play.
pretty awesome there. Roger Wardell, which is a client of J-Wire, finished in second with a 5,682 average. And then Clark Rosenstengel ended up in 6th there, back in the Camaro with a 6,126 average and a best pass of 5,730.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome seeing Clark back in the car.
Yeah, it is. It was nice to have him back out there.
Yeah, he thrashed to get that. That was last year, right?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Wow, damn.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, big shout out to him.
That accident happened. But it was good to see him back out. Welcome him there. Roger Wardell, who took second in that class, he took second last year as well.
Oh, behind Brian Acton.
Well, yeah, behind Brian Acton. Seems like everybody's behind Brian Acton in that class.
I'll tell you, when those guys get it on their mind to do something, they ain't playing.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's serious. And I'm excited to talk to them. We're going to put you and him on at the same time. And so I think that'll kind of bring out some of those conversations here in just a minute. So that'll be kind of fun. 640 index, dude. This class, super tight, very, very competitive. Looking through the numbers earlier today, so I just want to run through this. Tim Contreras takes the win with a 6,406 average. Again, across 3 days of racing, he did a 6,411, 6,406, and then a perfect 6,400 pass. Second place, DJ Matthews, Dale Jr., 6,408 average, so 0.02 of a second difference. 6,406, 6,407, and 6,411 for DJ. crazy. Ken Johnson takes third, 6.425 with the best pass of a 6.406. And then Kyle Acton in the debut of the Blazer, out for his first time in a drag and drive, competing in everything, takes fourth place with a 6.44 average with the best pass of a 6.415. So, dude, this class must have been a ton of fun to watch.
It was. There was a lot of competition there.
Yeah.
They were going back and forth at it.
Yeah, that class is a lot of fun. Once you get to like that, like 640 is probably what, like if you do the math, like a 10-0 or something like that. That class is very tight. Anytime there's a 10-0 index or a 640 index or anything like that, it gets real. Those guys that race that stuff know their cars big time.
Yep.
So then we go into the last one here, DYO, 31 cars with a smaller than a 10th spread. That's pretty awesome. 4 cars with less than 100th. So winning that was Danny Lewis with a 5,000 spread, 0.005. Passes 8.162, 8.159, and an 8.164.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yep. Second place was Heather Lyons with a 0.007 spread, an 8.255 to an 8.262. Adam Green in third with a 0.008 spread, and Sharon Bogardis with a 0.009 spread.
Yeah, that class is very, very tight. And to get over 3 passes, 2 different tracks, 3 days, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So Heather, the second place person, she made 21 laps on day 2 up at Northern Michigan Dragway.
Holy jeez.
Wow.
And that was that round robin. She just kept going round in circles, round in circles, round in circles.
Man, that's crazy. 21 passes in a single day. That's nuts. That takes the right car.
Yep.
Wow.
That's the most passes we've ever had anybody make at one of the Drop the Hammer events.
That's awesome. Yep. Nico was making so many at the circuit 2023, I think, that my wife was like, can I just leave and him give me his pass later? Like he was the last one there running to the last minute. He was like, just circles, man. It was awesome. So we have a joke now. It's a freaking Nico up there making that. Sharon Bogardis, people will remember that name from Heads Up Hustle last year. She almost won the 13-0 class, and the year before actually did win the 13-0 class. So she's competitive, and I think she races at Mid-Michigan as part of their bracket class and stuff like that there all the time. So she knows that track inside and out, and to be 009 on the spread's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right, that kind of wraps up our J-Wire stuff. That's the results from Drop the Hammer. From here on out, we're going to talk about all the fun stuff and stories and things like that come along. So big shout out to J-Wire and the team over there. I love what Jay's doing, the plumbing and wiring and all the cool stuff that you need in your race car. He can do them. Mr. Eric, you want to thank our race car friends and sponsors, and then we'll move on and bring Brian Acton on.
Absolutely. Thanks to all of our race car friends in here making comments tonight. Appreciate all of you guys for everything that you do for us, supporting us and all of that. And again, our sponsors, we couldn't do it without all of our sponsors: Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk.
For sure. And before we move into that, big shout out to Scott Guthrie, who's at Reggie Moore's house, the organ grinder garage down there, about 4 hours south of me right here, and on his way to Rocky Mountain Race Week. So good luck to those guys on their travels.
Awesome.
All right. Let's bring on Mr. J-Wire Solutions himself, who just probably ran into the shop. Jay and Brian, Fast Act Racing, the Baptist dudes to do 850 stuff and 540 index stuff out there in the drag and drive game. Brian, tell us, how many trophies are there over your left shoulder?
Those are the 3 Drop the Hammer trophies from 24, 25, and then from this past weekend.
Yeah, does it feel cool having that? And then you 3-peated at the circuit in our 850 class. I mean, like, bro, you're just kind of a stud. You guys are studs.
Hey, we like the regional events. What can we say?
Yeah, I want to talk about that in a little bit, because guys at your level, that's important to keep that car rolling in that stuff. But right now, we're going to talk about drop the hammer. So I'm going to move you guys up to the top, so y'all can all be in the same spot there. Let me do this ad read for Deechworks real quick, and then we will jump into comments and questions from Drop the Hammer.
From street miles to track passes, your fuel system has one job: perform when it matters most. At Deechworks, we engineer high-performance fuel systems built for the demands of drag and drives. From injectors and fuel pumps to filters and regulators, every component is engineered to be reliable and consistent under real-world conditions. Whether you're chasing a personal best or driving hundreds of miles between tracks, Deechworks delivers the fuel system your build requires.
And of course, you guys know DDR10 discount code on Deechworks.com, 10% off all your fuel system needs. Okay, let's talk fun stuff here. How cool are the trophies that Drop the Hammer, dude? I love these things. Like, I know this is Dale Matthews and DJ, but look how awesome those things are, man. Carl, you do a hell of a job on these trophies. I love this look.
Well, thanks. It's fun to build them. Hopefully all the participants like them.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I was gonna say, I think trophies are probably one of the reasons people come out, right? Especially guys like Brian and Jay, because they're like, if we want to take one of them home, we want to be cool.
Yeah.
Just keep stacking them up in the back room.
Yeah, at this point, Brian probably does need the trophy room.
We need to do some work in the shop, Brian. We need some shelves. There needs to be some, like, on top of your refrigerator in the house is not ideal.
Yeah, you're probably out of space if they're on the refrigerator at the house.
Slipping off, like, actively.
Don't throw me under the bus like that. I can stay on my way to work.
Underhand pitch.
Well, y'all, I mean, I want Eric and I just to let you guys talk for a little bit. I just kind of want like a recap of the event. I want fun stories, what happened, what, route stops, were there burnouts, was there cool stuff like for Carl, this is probably stuff he's learning now.
I'm going to open it up. We have a rule. He's giggling. If we're leading, no burnouts. Because I have no side mirror out the passenger side, and so I really have no idea what the trailer is doing behind us, and I'm paranoid about it. Like,
fair enough.
Hashtag anxiety.
So a couple years ago, we made a rule that if we are leading our class on any of the days, no trailer burnouts, leaving checkpoints. And
because you're one of two people, either you're that person that's like, yeah, I'm going to haze them, or you're a little B. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. You got so many people with their cell phones on you and cameras out, and you're really one or two people. You're either idling out and kind of getting booze, or you lay it down and they're like, "Did you see that Nova?" Yeah,
like that time you had the hitch rack and just murdered it there at Drag Week 22.
Yeah.
So the story for Saturday goes like this. The Blazer, we had some vitals we wanted to monitor a little closer. So Jay started co-piloting with Kyle in the Blazer.
And navigating, yep.
And so, I was left unsupervised. And
damn kids.
Yeah, when we pulled out of this church where we had this awesome taco checkpoint party, I just couldn't help it. The hard targets lady was out there. So I laid down a burnout and Jay texted me right away, like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "You're not in the car, so it doesn't count."
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's some cool video. I'll have to send it to you guys that, there was a bunch of kids we knew out front being our local area. So I was able to retrieve a couple different angles of the burnout, which was nice.
Yeah, and being that close to home, I'm sure that's probably a great setup for folks to come see, but you're also probably racing a lot of local folks, right?
Yeah, definitely. Roger Wardell is a good friend of ours and a customer of Jay's, and, has a clone to my car. So we all traveled together and obviously guys in other classes, I knew, probably, half of the cars that were in the event, which is really nice, and know the area that we're driving into, which is kind of nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at one point we were like 14 minutes from Brian's house.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I told that, like, I mean, again, I'd support anybody doing the event, but I had customers. I'm like, in the first 45 minutes of your drive, if you have a problem, I can get you on a hoist within 25 minutes.
Wow.
You know, and that's like a big deal. I mean, like literally like the Nova's sitting in the hoist bay right now, but yeah, so that burnout, 156 mile an hour wheel speed.
That's awesome.
I'm like hashtag data, you know, like it's
Yeah.
it was 18 mile an hour front wheel speed, so he was just creeping along in 156 rear wheel.
Yes, I like it. That's the style. That's what we need.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was probably one of the top 3 ones we've done for sure.
He was by himself.
Well, the top
like-
3 you've done, Ryan.
Kyle stopped, and I was like, Kyle, we need to like roll down the road a little bit, because if your dad comes up on it's hot and he's on the binders, like bad things are gonna happen. So we moving down the road. Like this is like drag and drive etiquette. You know, it was fun to spend a day in the truck with Kyle because I mean, sharing some stories. And I'm like, you drive like your dad. And he's like, what do you mean? So we had some interesting dialogue around that, and it was fun.
How cool. Well, what about races? Like, how tight was it? I mean, it looks like you guys were out ahead of Roger, who finished with a 568, which is off the mark on a 545 index. But from there, you know, 589 as third place for Tim Volkers. Were you guys leaning on? I mean, obviously, you were like a 458, 477, and a 465. Like that's pretty competitive.
Yeah, we only, which this is great for us for the entire event. We only made 6 passes. We made 3 on day 1. We made 2 on day 2 and only 1 on day 3.
Wow.
Never in our history of doing drag and drive, so we've been that low.
Yeah. So, and having 2 cars to focus on definitely changed up our strategy. I mean, we wanted to make sure Kyle was getting the attention and the opportunity. So it made it a little bit different feel. We had to navigate through, how to spend our time, and we figured it out. It worked out well, and we didn't have any problems. But
yeah, now it's like Fast Act Racing team.
Yeah.
Multi-car.
And Kyle had an absolute riot. I mean, he's hooked. He loved every part of it, driving all the hotel parking lot shenanigans. I mean, he had a great time with the whole event. So he'll definitely be back. So yeah, it was great. And then what I was going to say about the competition. So Jay and I have only had this a couple times. We had it at Sick Week a couple years ago, where just some people have some bad luck or don't have the right day, and you end up in it with a huge lead. But 90% of the time, it's a dogfight till the last day. The first 2 years of Carl's event, Roger Wardell and myself, we were battling it out to, within a few thousandths of a second on day 3. And this year, he just had some issues with some stuff on his car, nothing major, but it just wasn't covering the number. And then by the second day, we started to really stretch it out to where on Sunday, we only needed to go like a 590 something to lock it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Jay had that all figured out.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't going to settle doing that. You see, he clicked out the 540.
Frankly, the number was way too fast on Sunday. I'm like, well, and Brian would be like, oh yeah. Like, I'm like, I don't want to be, but I'm like, I want to be like, yeah, we need to be respectable, right?
Yeah.
And so the plan on day 2 was, because we felt we were in a good spot, it was like, that's one and done and focus on Kyle. And we went and I was like, this track, I mean, I don't want to like knock it. I mean, like the surface was sketch on Saturday.
It was, no doubt.
What's that?
It was, no doubt.
And I said to Brian, and we were in the driver's meeting, and I'm like, hey, we're going to go down the slick lane after like 6 cars go down. He's like, hey, you tell me where to go, man. And so there was a pretty significant spin event, like 2.4 seconds in the run. And I was like, Brian, I'm like, with the tune-up that's in it, it's like, it's slower than yesterday's, you know, like I got power out of it, all this kind of stuff. And like, if it spins a couple times, there's no way it's going under. Car goes like a 44 with a 2 at 132.6 miles an hour. And I was like, what in the heck is going on? And it's like, this is not the plan, you know? And I'm like, I know it's not the plan. This is not how this was supposed to go down.
Yeah,
and,
we had 542, J-Dog. Yeah.
42. Oh, yeah. Not a 44 with a 2, a 42. Way too quick. So
Way too quick. 300s too quick.
Yeah. And so we managed to go a 47 with a 7. I'm like, well, I'm just pulling it back, right? And then frankly, we ran that same tune-up at Mid-Michigan the next day, and I was like, oh, the air is going to be a pinch better, but like it's going to go a 47. And it went a 46 with a 5. And I was like, well, that was quicker than I wanted it to be, but damn it, we got it done, you know, like.
One and done on that one, man. Let's pack this thing up. Let's go to the house. Well, it's really cool that Roger's car is there too. Now, did you turn his stuff down even more? Is that what the story is here?
Yeah.
No. So here's the deal. So Roger tunes his stuff. Like he and I talk often. And just being frank, Roger's got some stuff going on. Like he's had to turn. He's turning up like boost control and stuff like that, and he's not getting ET back out of the car. Like day one, he like turned it way up, and I'm like, this is far further than you need to be. And like he went 118 miles an hour. I mean, like the horsepower number is just down.
Wow.
And we found a boost leak on Brian, was it Friday night when we got into the hotel?
Friday night, yep.
And like he made a pass on Saturday, and he was like 126 miles an hour, and he's pedaling the car like 2 and 3 times. I'm like, cool. He's got his mile an hour back, right? Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, like he even again, he put some more dome in the car, dome pressure, and the car really never got over like 126.5 miles an hour. And so I just think, it probably just needs to be gone over with like a fine tooth comb and spent some time. The car's been 830s, like it's 75 degree air.
Yeah,
so it's just
it's a Baker Engineering.
It is a clone to Brian's car. The camshaft in Brian's car has changed since then, but that same track rental in 23, Brian, 22.
22 was when we first went in the 7s. Yeah.
Yeah. So Brian's car went like 799, and Roger's car went 830. Like Brian had a little bit bigger turbo, but same intercooler, all that kind of stuff. That car's been 830s. Like on like a 75 degree day. So it's capable of doing it. Like something's just off. Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, at this point, it's just a matter of finding it really and figuring it out.
Right. Well, Carl, tell us some stuff, man. What's going on? What happened? What was one of your favorite parts of it?
I think the dinner on Saturday night at the church where we stopped, everybody was doing the burnouts or taking their cars down. They got this little gas station garage type outhouse at the place, and they're taking their cars down there, getting pictures, just hanging out and having a good time, and then right back to the hotels. We got to the hotel from there, and they were out in the parking lot doing scooter wars, racing little scooters, so it was just that Saturday night was a blast.
That's awesome.
What about you, Brian? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Brian, what was your favorite part of the event?
Well, first off, doing the event with my son, was definitely awesome. He's like a little clone to me personality wise, and he's just a fun spirit. We laughed, he's competitive, but he also a lot of a lot of laughter to the group. I mean, he was jovial. We were traveling with Roger Wardell and his brother, so kind of Nova Nation, we call it. It was Kranger, Roger Wardell and myself, and then we kind of the three Novas plus the Blazer. And if we had to stay late at the track for any reason, those other two guys with the Novas, they just hung out until we were ready to go. We always traveled in a group, and the hotel parking, the hotel stuff, even at your event, Mike, when you go to a regional event, they're just different than the weekend.
100%.
You're to the hotels earlier. People seem more interested in hanging out it's just a different feel. It doesn't feel like Jay and I will get to the hotel during a drag week or a sick event, and we're usually getting there a little later, but people are tired. They've driven miles and they seem ready to turn in. There's just not as much activity outside. So I really like Drop the Hammer, and I really, it's a lot of my local friends I'm racing against as well. So that makes it a little special, but it's just the shorter drives are nice because the day just feels like it doesn't beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I drove my car from my house with the little trailer behind it. I did not, because the mid-Michigan's 35 miles from my house.
Oh, wow.
And I logged from home to home round trip 403 miles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, we trailered the Blazer. My kid used my car trailer to haul his Blazer just because of, just a little more uncertainty with that, but it did fine. But yeah, that's probably my favorite part. I mean, it was awesome. Like I said, with the group we had and the friends, it was just, that was probably the best part of it for me. Obviously my car ran well, and that's always a positive going into 6 summer and a couple, but yeah, good.
Wait, did you say John Pranger was there? Oh shit.
JP.
Man,
Yeah,
I love that guy.
he was in the DYO class. I don't know where he finished, but he was running like 8:15 in the 8th mile, maybe in the mid 8s or low 8s.
Yeah, it looks like he was down. I mean, 12th or 15th or something like that.
He had a bad, I think, second day at Northern Michigan, and kind of
way too quick.
Yeah, he threw his average off, but yeah, it was awesome hanging out with him. His son actually co-piloted with him for the first time, and they had a riot together, so that was really cool to see a couple father-son, duos out there with.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roger's brother co-piloted with him, so kind of a family affair. It was really fun.
That's cool.
Plus Jay.
Yeah. Plus the third wheel Jay, my main man.
I'm like the 7th wheel at that point, but
hell, I did half the drives with no co-pilot. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's good. You. I told all kinds of Brian stories.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay? What was your favorite part of the event?
I mean, I agree with Brian. I mean, I think it was cool. Like, challenge me on this one, Brian. Like 5 weeks ago. So here's the deal on Kyle's Blazer. So if anybody saw the Fast Act Racing post, like that truck was built or bought in September of 24. It was very hush hush. We actually fired the truck up last October, maybe. For the first time after hey, I would rather wire it like this. Brian's like, I'd rather have this done like this. And so we probably took more apart than we should have or needed to, I guess. And so we fired the truck up for the first time in October. And that was motivation, right? Like we heard this thing run. And then it was like, oh, the exhaust doesn't fit the way it should. And a handful of other things. And it was 6 weeks ago. Maybe a month prior to the event, maybe 5 weeks prior to the event. And it was I was at Brian's on a Friday night or something. And Kyle's in the process of just bought a house. I mean, there's just a lot of life events going on and whatnot. And I said, Kyle, you got a room for Drop the Hammer? Or are you sleeping on the floor? And he's he kind of gave me this, my shit's not going to be ready for Drop the Hammer. And I was it's running tonight. It must have been a Wednesday night because Brian and I ended up there, and Kyle stuck around, which I feel like sometimes he's like, oh, I got to go to bed or whatever. But I mean, I think it was 1 a.m. we fired that truck up.
Oh, wow.
And I was he was I'm not going to be ready. And I was not with that attitude. That's a Red Hat Scotty thing. And I picked up on that 3 years ago at at your event, Mike, and I use it all the time. I use it with Ann a lot, but he's like, I'm not going to be ready. And I was like, not with that attitude. And that night that truck ran again. I'm like, all right, it runs. And like, this is me. Like I punt like mechanical stuff over to Brian. And then like a week and a half later, he's like, this electrical needs to be done. And then like a week later, I'm like, this mechanical needs to be done. And we like joust back and forth about the work needs to be done. And they street drove the truck like the weekend before the event. So like I'll say 5 days before the event. And TJ and the team at Baker Engineering got us on the dyno on like Wednesday night. Truck made 587 tire on like 8 pounds. It's got a K-Tech ported head 6-liter deal. And they tested on Thursday night before the event. So the day after, and the truck went coasted to a 997.
Golly, that's awesome.
629 to the 8th, I think it ran, or 627, something like that. So,
Carl, do y'all run is it an open track testing, like a test and tune at night, or is it part of the event?
It's for the event. It's for anybody that's participating in the event. They come and do their tack and get all registered and everything, and then they can test if they want.
Fine. Okay, Eric, that's what we're doing next year. We've never done any kind of testing on Thursday before the event, but we had talked about John Dorton joked on his show, Gearhead Perspective. He was like, man, we need a tacos and testing because we do a racer pre-party. That's why we do need testing, right? But I think that's what we need to do. We'll just plan for that next year. Tacos and testing on Thursday. Yep.
It's been a big hit the last couple of years. We've had 40, 50 cars both years that we've done it now that have shown up and tested. So,
yeah, and I mean, like, it just gives people that chance, just like Kyle's Blazer. I mean, that thing had not, I'm sure you made some full throttle pulls, but not like hey, let's put this on the chip and launch it on a prepped surface, so it gives you that chance.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the other thing too, and I think it's so damn cool for Brian and Kyle in this whole scenario. Like, so both Brian's kids ooh, is that me? Audio bad?
No, that was one of the guys leaving the shop. Justin DeWeird.
Okay. I started talking and I thought the audio got really crappy. So both of Brian's boys have been 8s in the Nova. Was that last fall, Brian, or 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago, now 24.
And so they've both been fast. And like the other cool thing, and again, I'm stealing a bunch of thunder, but both of Brian's boys are in the 2 club in the East Coast Timing Association. And maybe we can like delve into that a little bit later. But so they've both been really fast and they've both been very quick also. But the cool thing, so the one thing is you talk about like, so Kyle has bumped in a turbo car, but he's never like launched a supercharged car. So like staging's different.
Oh, I bet.
I'm working through that with a customer of mine that went from like bumping in a turbo car to trans braking a supercharged car to now like we have like a handbrake and a clutch and a gas pedal and that whole sequence. Like, I mean, these are all, it's very different. And like, and Brian and Carl can attest to this. And like, I haven't drag raced in forever, but like for whatever reason, 7 seconds feels like 0.7 seconds when you're like doing all that work on the tree and staging. And so everything just speeds up so much. And so there was a lot of, Brian and Kyle spent a lot of time Thursday and into Friday, like talking about like staging procedure and 1 second reaction rule penalties and all those types of things, just to ensure that Kyle was like ready to go. And so, I mean, the Blazer has Brian, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it has like 12 laps on it.
Probably.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's.
And to end up 4th in 640 is pretty impressive, especially that class being so competitive.
Yeah. The rest of the story there, guys, is on Saturday. So we went 641 with the Blazer on Friday. On Saturday, on his first attempt, about 500 foot, so near the finish line, we saw a bunch of smoke, and the Blazer went 647. And we get back, and it blew the timing cover seal out and pushed it up against the balancer. And so we spent the rest of the day. So he didn't get another run. We spent the rest of the day working on the Blazer. Bonafide Tools, Jamie Ham, we needed a balancer puller, and he built a special limited edition drop the hammer balancer install removal tool that's engraved. That was a giveaway item. He went and got that off the drop the hammer tent display and brought it over to us and helped us get the balancer off Kyle's Blazer.
Yeah.
Too cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I said I was like driving by and he's like, there, just take that. And I was like, we're not using that. That's a giveaway. And he's like, the hell you're not. He's like, you need it. You're grabbing that thing off the bench. Like, go use it. And then by the time I was like, all right, it looks like we thread this into here and we thread this into there. And by the time like we got parts and all this kind of stuff, and I come back and like Jamie's like doing the work and he's like, oh, I feel like I've just, like, is everything okay with this? And we're like, yes, like non-planned support. Like, yes,
oh, cool,
indeed.
man.
I didn't want to scratch the tool either. I mean, it's got to be someone's winning. So
yes,
but yeah,
I think it adds to the story. I mean,
yeah, it was super cool. I mean, I wish we would have talked about it a little more to give him some props. But his wife was videotaping it, and it was just he made quick work of it. It would have taken us longer to do it with an install tool and a removal tool. I mean, this thing can do both, and it's so slick. And then Jay and his dad went and got some parts and some oil, and we obviously got the truck turned around, but we didn't get another run. And that, I think that, running 7 numbers off obviously made us have to, really fight for it on the final day, but still super proud of the, fixing the Blazer and the support we had from Jamie and Bonafide Tools. And it was, like you said, that's what you have. Those are the stories that come out of it when you, you bring something new to an event. Anything can happen. So,
oh, and Larson won the puller. That's pretty cool because that thing is gangster.
Yeah.
How cool.
That's awesome. Let's talk about route stops a little bit. What was your guys' favorite route stop?
I like food.
Which one?
I like food.
Yeah. The Harley Davidson with the barbecue?
No, the church, the cruise.
Oh, with the tacos?
There was barbecue. Where was that?
At the Harley Davidson place in Fremont.
Oh, that was way after we were long gone at that point. Apparently,
no,
yeah, we came through there pretty late. So
okay, yeah, they might have been done.
We must have missed it. But
yeah, tacos were really good. Like I said, I like food.
The tacos were awesome.
And
so one thing I
thought it gives people a chance to stop for a minute. You're not like, I got to get here, I got to do this. So that's cool.
Yeah, the church. Food stop with the church. I mean, when we got there, we did get there a little bit later because of the repairs on the Blazer and stuff. But there had to have been over 100 cars in that church parking lot.
Oh, how cool!
I don't know if there were some local people mixed in. It maybe looked like there could have been, but
yeah, they had some of the locals there.
Yeah, so it just felt like you were literally at a car show. I mean, it was. It was not just your typical maybe 15 to 20. I mean, the whole back parking lot of the church was full of cars, all classic and race cars. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
That was a good deal there.
A lot of burnouts happening out in front. I mean, a lot. The track out in front of that looks like a drag strip. It is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cops came by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, after we left.
Yeah.
They were like, "Was there a gray Nova over here anywhere?"
Yeah.
Nothing. The other thing that was really nice was, is it Freeland Chiropractic, Carl?
Yeah. Yep.
So Freeland Chiropractic was an event sponsor and then also one of the route stops. And so what I thought was really cool, and I feel like it's like Small Town USA is where you get this, is Carl's team, they had some like slow and stop signs because we had to pull in like a downtown district. We had to pull from the right lane to the left lane and like parallel park going the wrong direction and take a picture. And they were like slow and stop to like let us get across, get parked, run across the street, take a picture, and then like get back into traffic. And they like held up traffic in, again, Small Town USA. Was that Fremont? No.
Sparta.
Sparta.
How cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you coordinate with local officials or anything like that, but like
Yeah,
they were out there stopping traffic. So
Freely Chiropractic actually set that all up.
that's
He's big into the community there with doing car shows and stuff later in the year.
Yeah.
So he talked to them, and they got special shirts made up for themselves, bright pink shirts, so everybody could see them, and it was a neat deal.
yeah.
That's cool.
And that was fun because like there's sometimes it's like, and like I sound like a complainer, but like Brian's Nova has horrible turning radius, and I'm going to learn more about this in 2 weeks at Six Summer. And we pull a trailer, and it's just sometimes it is a nightmare to get in and out of somewhere, or you like underestimate what your turn radius needs to be, and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap! Like I'm like literally hard lock up against like the bar, like I physically can't turn this thing any sharper, and so it was nice to be able to be like, all right, this is great. Like we have like this nice, easy, like mellow, like move over to the other side. And it was funny because it was like, they're going to be there till 6, and it was like 5:49 when we pulled through there. And I was like, if they're not there, I'm harassing Carl because he said 6. And I'm a stickler about time. And so, and we were able to, and then we kind of like motioned the girl. I'm like, we're going to pull up. And then because we had 4 in our crew, and then the next 2 pulled in behind us, and then all 4 of us were able to leave together. It was really slick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, John saying Carl had a nice pink shirt too.
He did.
I did. They outfitted me with one.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what happens.
That's awesome. Then last question here. Outside of your guys' cars, Brian and Jay, what was your favorite race car that was there?
For me, I kind of liked it that Larson was back. I'd never seen his truck in person, and the hype and the excitement around that. And the thing is a piece of artwork. The engine setup in it is one of a kind, and he's really approachable. He'll talk to anybody. He's super friendly, and it was just neat to have that caliber of a racer there. It kind of had a buzz going with that. So I thought that was cool, and that was probably my favorite.
Nice. Jay?
So Brian kind of stole mine because the power plant that Visner built, who's local to us and one of Carl's sponsors, like there's some magic stuff going on under the hood of that truck.
Yeah.
I'm the John Lahone's and Jeremiah Kirby's Chevelle, since I wired it, and I think 815 cubic inches is just insane.
Yeah.
And the fact that it runs 490s NA is rowdy at 30
and drives on the street
3160 race weight or whatever it is a little bit insane. And then somebody who I've had a boatload of respect for in the past, and my respect has grown in the last 2 to 3 years, is Jim Recline. He's got a 66 GTO.
That thing's so nice.
Yeah, and homeboy, fortunately for him, his trailer gets lighter as he goes because he's consuming race fuel out of his trailer while he makes the drive. But we went to the finals in Quick 8 against him, and Brian's car didn't quite make target boost, and we went 520s to his 5 flat, and he was like, I'm looking around, I couldn't find you. I felt like it was a scene out of Top Gun or something. And I said, yeah, because you were going to grab the third kit. And he goes, it was armed. He goes, I knew you probably had enough to run with me if I was going to run 5.0 something. He said, but I was going to make sure that you were going to come around me. So those are the two. And so they're big block Chevys,
yeah,
really big block Chevys and then big block Chevys. And so I don't know, maybe my taste is changing. I don't know, but don't let Brandon Miller hear any of that because he'll be like, oh, big blocks, but
What about you, Carl? What was your favorite one there?
Oh man, where do I start? It's hard. It's really hard. Jim Recline, I've known him for a long time. I worked in a shop with him. He's helped me build my car. I've helped him build his car, and it's just a beautiful car.
Mm-hmm.
And he grenaded the motor 2 weeks ago.
I forgot to say.
Yeah. Wow.
we spent the last 2 weeks changing the motor and kind of getting it dialed in. The motor was untested, so for him to come out there and do that was awesome. Larry Larson coming out, that means a lot to have somebody like that come, to the event. And the thing is when he debuted that truck back in 2014, that was my first drag and drive.
Oh, wow.
I got to sit next to him debuting that truck for my first drag and drive. So, that was kind of, nostalgic for me seeing that there and whatnot. And, Visner, the engine in that truck now, I've dealt with Dave a lot. I've got his parts on my motor. That, just everybody, it's hard to nail down a favorite one.
Yeah, because like from the promoter side, every one of those cars has a cool story that you've been involved in somehow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Everything there is, oh, that's cool because that guy did this and that guy did that. And yeah, man, I love it. That's cool.
Yeah, so it was just great seeing everybody out there, the camaraderie and all the fun that everybody was having with it. It was great.
Well, now that Drop the Hammer Michigan is done, before we let you go, Carl, we got to talk about Judgment Day. One day, no mercy, brother.
That's right.
I love this. I love single day events. I love the opportunity for people to get in and do their thing. Brian and Jay, I'm going to pull you down for just a second so we can get him on the screen, and then we'll bring you back. This one's a big deal to me. I love this. I love that you're doing this. I want you to go through real quick. Give us like the format of this single day event.
Yeah, so we'll start at Alma Tire Services, which is in Mount Pleasant. It's northeast of Mid-Michigan Motorplex. We'll start there Friday night. We'll do some tech and registration. We'll start off Saturday morning with more tech and registration, get everybody through, and then we head down. As soon as they get teched in, they can jump in their cars and head straight down to the racetrack. It's about a 35 minute drive to the racetrack from there. We'll start racing at 10 o'clock. They got to make at least 2 passes between 10 and 2. And the first one, they'll turn in their time slip and get their map route to head back to Alma Tire. It's a 75-mile trip back to Alma Tire with a couple checkpoints. So when they get back to Alma Tire, they'll turn in their second time slip, and that just shows, that you made the trip. Instead of turning in 2 time slips, at the track, and then it's like, well, you just got to get back to the other place, and we want to, we want you to make that loop. So, and then be back to Alma Tire by 6 o'clock. So they got 4 hours to drive 75 miles.
Oh yeah.
At a minimum. If you get your laps done earlier, then you've got even more time.
Mm-hmm.
So then turning time slip in by 6, and we'll take an hour to figure all the awards out. And we actually are handing out charges. With whoever's gonna, you're gonna get charged with the fastest Chevy, the slowest car, the most consistent car.
Yeah, so not like
you get charged with a seal of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be categories,
Yeah, I like it.
We're calling them charges, not categories.
Yeah.
So we'll do dinner and awards, after 7 o'clock for that. So it's a 110-mile trip. It's not terrible. It's smaller than any of your daily drives on any other drag and drive. So it's a little bit more low key, but you can't tow a trailer.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Not
even your drag and drive trailer?
Roadkill style. Not a drag and drive trailer, no.
So here's what's funny. Chris Story keeps wearing me out about doing a class like that, to where, because there's typically like a quickest with no trailer award or whatever. But that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but that's where, where the judgment day, no mercy comes in. We're going to see if we can let it hang out.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And this is July 25th. People can sign up now, right?
Yep. Registration is open. We've got about 30 entries at this point right now.
Nice. That's
so
awesome. And
we'll
dude,
see
you
where
know
it goes
how it
from there.
goes with these things. People sign up, and you would take people day of, right? Like you
That's
would take
correct.
them
Yeah.
Friday night or
Unless
Saturday
we
night.
hit our limit, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Right. And so are you working in with a like a normal test and tune at the track, or
Nope.
are
Nope,
this is a
just
track
straight
round?
up with us.
Wow.
Yep.
How cool, man. That's
Yep.
so awesome, dude.
So that they can make as many passes as they need to.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, man. I love this idea. I love the format. I love the charges idea, because then you're not necessarily, people aren't trying to find the class they're in. They're just going out making the pass they need.
Right. Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
All right. What you guys can find all that. Drop the Hammer. You guys have an incredible group on Facebook. People are always active in there. There's a lot of people in there. Talking, chatting, giving tips, all that kind of stuff all the time. So great job on building a huge brand. And then tell us when Drop the Hammer North Carolina is.
Yeah, North Carolina is September 11th through the 13th. Down in we're at Farmington Dragway again this year for our host, and Roxborough Motorsports Park for day 2 down there. North Carolina.
Same classes across the two events?
No, we're gonna keep just 5 classes like we did the first 2 years of the main event. Obviously this year in the main event we bumped it up to 10 classes. We're just gonna stick with the 5 down in North Carolina for right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
I did forget there is 2 other classes down in North Carolina. I forgot all about. Trailer trash.
Oh, what's that mean? Is that like a
That
cheap car
means, well, kind of. You don't have to drive your car from track to track. You can load it on a trailer and trailer it from track to track.
I like
But
it.
you have all the same rules. There is only small tire and big tire for those 2 classes.
Yeah. What I like about that is we've seen other people do that, and it ends up those guys drive their car the second day. They may skip the day one.
That's what we're hopes.
Yeah, but they're going to end up driving that thing on day 2. So
yeah, that's kind of our hopes. Is they either they morph into driving them that weekend, or the next year they come back and say, yeah, my car can do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Back to the Streets and Austin Sanchez. I mean, that dude drives around on a 3-gallon fuel cell. For the first year, he didn't change anything over, drove on methanol. He could go 18 miles on the tank.
So, it's not very far.
No, now he's on E85 for the drive stuff, and he can go 30. So, all right, dude.
Just getting warmed up.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much, Carl. I appreciate it, buddy. I'm sure we'll see each other. We'll cross paths at some point this year. And man, congratulations on an incredible event.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Buddy. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. Let's switch up real quick. Let's go to our next segment here. Big shout out to Diehl and the team over there. Again, the official fuel delivery of Drag Driver Pete. Code DDR10 for 10% off your any fuel system needs. I mean, they got it all of it. If you need fuel system somewhere, they got it. Performer built transmissions. Eric, you want to read that one, and then we'll keep rocking with Brian and Jay.
Yep. Performer Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Driver Pete. At Performer Built Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performer Built.
All right. And to bring these guys back on, again, Brian Acton, driver of the Nova, and Jay Blanchard, co-pilot extraordinaire and owner of J-Wire Solutions. I just want to recap, because this will be cut down as a different segment later. But let's talk about this Drop the Hammer 2026, your 3-peat. I mean, you guys can see the trophies now that Brian's bigger on the screen. You can see the trophies over the corner. Dude, you've 3-peated in the 545 index. The question I have for you, when
I
you were
have no audio, guys.
Uh-oh.
When you were at the circuit, Jay can probably answer this. You guys were like 550, so right? Is typically what you would run at the circuit, but this one is faster. Or did you typically do a 545 number?
So 545 is really close for us. Brian, are you still struggling with audio? You look puzzled.
We can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear you. Should I text him?
Yeah. I'm going to pull him down from the screen real quick.
Okay, I'll text him real quick while we're doing this. And then so 545 is like a very typical number for us. I mean, like I post time slips on Facebook or whatever, so I'm not really worried about like sharing whatever. But so like Brian's car goes 133-ish, 60 foot, 545. 709 is like the hot number for the 1,000 foot. Like if we're 709, like
it's a number.
Stuff's happening. Yeah. And then
Brian, can you hear us? Oh, he's frozen up now.
I'm just gonna tell him to log out and log in.
Yeah, I'm kicking him now. Okay. Poor guy. He's probably like, what the heck?
Yeah, so 709. If we go 709.6, that seems to be like a hot number for me where it's going to go 850 with a number. You back with the audio, homie?
Yep, I'm back.
Yay!
So I didn't pay my internet bill. I was
yeah. It's that Fast Act extended network. Yeah, out there in the garage. So Mike was just asking like what we run. So like when the Nova runs like a number, it's like 133-ish, 60 foot, maybe as bad as 135 or as quick as 132, which is really actually where we struggle the most with our consistencies in the 60 foot. I feel like the car's there. I feel like the tracks maybe aren't so much. And then 545 with a change. And then I was telling them, Brian, if it goes 709 with like a 6, I feel like is like the number it needs to go to 1,000 feet. And then cool stuff's gonna happen at the 1320. And then it's 850, 851 at like 159.5 to 160 mile an hour. It's kind of like that's where we want to be at.
So yeah, I'll be watching for that on 6 Summer live stream.
You're like, damn it, Blanchard, you're right.
Well, and I mean, dude, no, I know you're right. You and I've had long, intimate conversations about how right you are. It's just so cool to see like the difference in, because typically when we're talking about you guys, it's 850 stuff, and so you go to this event and, this is one of the only 8th mile, I guess, competitive drag and drives you do. Is that right? Most of the other stuff is quarter. Yeah. So, luckily for us this year, Tulsa had turned on the 8th mile times and the quarter mile clocks. So like you could see that as you were going down. So typically we don't get that from like a media standpoint. I'm not standing there being able to see that, but I felt like sometimes it was like I was looking for something sub 550 when you were making a pass. I mean, because you guys and TJ were so close. Like it was like, I was trying to find any incremental down the track to what that meant. But that was just kind of where that conversation came from.
TJ's car, his splits are totally different than mine. I mean, we've hung out with those guys enough. It is interesting how his strategy with the wagon is compared to ours. He runs a little slower up front, and even to the middle, he'll run like a high 540 to almost a 550 and still can go 850 out the back.
Wow.
So,
like Brian, like 161.5 mile an hour, like somewhere around there, 162 even potentially.
Yeah, he's crowding 162. He really pours it out the back. So, and those guys have really come on the last couple of years. They're great friends of ours, and they have been paying attention, and they went from just going and hanging out to wanting to win. And it's cool to see, those guys get hungry, and they're a couple good dudes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeremy Ortiz saying he does it different here too. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. So like our first, Jeremy, like we always should like yank him onto the show, but like our first run in with Jeremy Ortiz was Streetcar Takeover 22, Brian.
Yep.
And so we ended up like Tyler Baber was there. I'm gonna totally go off script here, but like Tyler Baber was there, and it was like, well, geez, Tyler's been 770s, and he's got a funny car cage. I'm like, I don't want to race him. So we like detuned Brian's car, you know, to like get him on like the backside of like the mild wild split for street car takeover. It was like, and so it was a 9 flat index.
9,
and like, what was it?
910.
910.
Yeah, it was a weird index, 910.
And again, all they're trying to do is they're trying to take like 28 cars that are in the class and trying to just subdivide them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into mild and wild. And Brian's like, this Jeremy guy, he runs 155 short, and he'll go 165 miles an hour to go 910s out the back. He goes, I'm staying in it. He goes, I'm not going to lift on him. I mean, there was so much dialogue in the trailer.
That's
and
awesome.
Jeremy's been in the 7s with that car, you know, so he's detuned just like us, you know. It's got a wide tuning range of possibilities.
Yeah, we need to have another 850 panel.
Car, and his name's Jeremy. That's all we knew about him in 2022.
Eric, let's start thinking about that. Let's do another 850 panel of racers. It'll be sometime in July, but I think that would be a ton of fun. Let guys get through Rocky Mountain and Six Summer and all that stuff as we all prepare for later. Okay, so 545 index domination at Drop the Hammer. You have now three-peated again. You three-peated at the circuit in our street race Power Rider class. You guys are bad to the bone. You're badasses. I want to run through the week or the weekend real quick. So 546 average, best ET of a 545 with an 8. You're off a absolute perfect pass by 0.008 of a second. Jay probably knows the inches, but that's a very different time there. 5,477 second day, and then 5,465 to wrap out the end of the week. And for the folks that have watched the entire live stream, you guys talked about that a little bit, but with this video being cut down as a standalone for the Performer Built segment, walk us through the weekend just in a quick recap.
You or me?
Go ahead, Jay.
So Brian tested Thursday night, and we were really just kind of looking to see like what kind of consistency we could get out of the car. And like the car went like a 43 with a 4 and a 44 with a 0. So we were like 6 thou off on comparable air and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't get out on Thursday night, just kid schedules and all that kind of stuff. And so Friday was really kind of a like, all right, we gotta pull the car back just a little bit and see. You know, we need to get on the right side of 545 because Brian had made 3 passes at that point under, and that's no good. So I think on Friday, what did we run? We ended up going a 46 and change, right? High 46 from the 8 maybe.
Yeah, and then we went under after that, like a 44 with a 6.
Yeah, 44. Yeah, so we went like a 46 with an 8, and then maybe I got a little bit too greedy in the car, went a 44 with a 6. And frankly, I was like, we don't really know like what our window looks like because we've fiddled with some stuff. And I said, I think we should just go make a pass. I'm like, let's pull in the back of the lanes. Let's just cool the car down. Let's get trans temp down in the 150s, like low 160s. And Brian went out and went 45 with an 8, you know, and the mile an hour was kind of in the ballpark. The 60-foot slowed, maybe a pinch, but it all worked out.
Yep.
And again, as we talked in the earlier segment, it was kind of like, hey, on Saturday, like we're pinching the driver's seat. Like that's trying one and done. And then the car went way too quick, went a 42. Thanks for the correction.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, like we got to clearly take a boatload of power out of this, despite the fact that, you know, the car's kind of spinning, the tire going down the track and stuff like that. And we went to 47 with a 7, and we're like, cool. Like we, like mathematically, we know where we're at, and like we needed to focus on Brian's son's car, Kyle, and or truck. And then on the last day, I think we had to go 598 with an 8.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so I was like, all right, well, let's run the same tune-up from yesterday. Here's kind of where the air's at, barometer, yada, yada, yada. And frankly, I thought the car was going to run like in the 480s or 548 with a 0. I thought it was going to be in that realm. And when it's 546 with a 5, which was a little bit quicker than I thought, and the mile an hour was up a little bit. But I'm like, yeah, like maybe the air was a pinch better than I thought, or maybe there's just between what it was when I looked at it and whatnot. But it was more than enough to lock it up. And then we kind of shifted focus on Kyle for a handful of passes, a couple passes. And then there was a quick 16, which is cool. Like that's fun. Like your brain shifts. Like we maybe potentially should talk about this with Carl before he got off, but he does a quick 16 shootout and a close 8 shootout. So he takes like the whole grouping of 132 cars and he finds the closest 8 cars. And then he gives them like a 1/10 of a second cushion. So you can't like turn your stuff up. You can't be like, oh, I ran my car NA all week and then all of a sudden I'm going to spray 200 on it or something like that.
Yep.
And so he takes the closest 8, which is like how the Pinks All Out used to run, right? They used to have 400 cars and the closest 32 cars is what they were looking for. So he does a quick 16 and a close 8. Kyle's Blazer qualified for the quick 16 and we've got some oil pressure concerns. So we bowed him out. And then we ended up going to the finals in the quick 16, which is pretty cool. And we mentioned the Chevelle earlier that I wired for John and Jeremiah. Like Brian won that. We drew them. They'd been down every pass they made. They went down, and the car averaged 499 with a 9. I think they averaged for the week. Yeah. And their car slowed a little bit, went 505, and Brian beat him with a 513. So won it on reaction time.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's my boy in the driver's seat.
Oh yeah.
So that was really cool.
And this is the muscle, right? This is the.
Hey, that was my only shot, boys. I knew I was out horsepower and out cubic inch. So if I was going to win, it was going to have to be on the tree. So
it's double cubic inches.
And I could hear that I was in the right lane and I could hear that big block the entire time out my left window. And I didn't see his car, but I knew he was right at my door. And I just was like, the 8th mile is so short. If we would have ran quarter mile, he would have passed me for sure. But
if we went 700 feet, he was going to pass you, Brian.
Yeah.
He had 2.5 mile an hour on you at the stripe.
Yeah.
I mean, he was bearing down on you.
Yeah, man. I could feel my door caving in from the compression of his big. But what a great group of guys! I mean, they came over and we talked for 10 or 15 minutes, took some pictures. I mean, they're just super good guys. I don't know if they're going to Six Summer or not, but really cool guys, just super friendly and that's what you want. You're just nobody's out here making $1 million at this stuff, so.
The quick 16, was it set up at like it's heads up no matter what?
Heads up no matter what. Chip draw every round. Like
cool.
Oh
and then Carl has a huge like plastic Thor hammer and he stands up in front of the Christmas tree and drops that to start you. It's arm drop.
What the hell?
Nice.
So they take all the stage bulbs and the green and red out, and then Carl's daughter, Julia, when you stage, she puts an arm out, and then the other person pre-stages, and then you stage. And as soon as her arms are up, that's Carl's signal to drop the hammer.
Oh my gosh, dude! How cool!
You pre-stage and stage on the tree, so there's like the lights all function and stuff. But she puts both her arms up after doing this, and then at that point, like the tree has dropped, even though the lights haven't turned on. So like. And Brian's reaction time was like 582 to Jeremiah's 594 or something like that.
Wow.
So your reaction time sucked, but you could still see that like I won based on reaction time.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And then it chases a race. So we raced a Tesla Plaid in the in the quarterfinals. Brian was like building boost and this Plaid takes off. And Brian's like, I'm sitting like
yeah, he was trying to get me to chase him, and that wasn't going to happen. So, but he knew that was his only shot. I mean, it was like
we had him covered by 1.2 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Carl stands there right in front of the Christmas tree, so he can't. His back's to the tree, so that's where his daughter comes in to do her arm motion.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool that Carl's got it pretty figured out.
Yeah. There's probably either like through is it Jaden Zabo did a bunch of photos, and then Hard Target Images. Like I guarantee you, there's quick 16 photos that show Carl, and he's literally, like I said, dropping a hammer and chases a race. I mean,
well, there was one photo in there I saw, and he was standing up there with the hammer up, and I didn't know what that meant. That's awesome.
That was so they did the quick 16 like that, and they did the close 8 like that, and then the only thing about the quick or the close 8 was you couldn't run, like, I think they gave you a 1/10 of a second cushion.
Yeah, that sounds.
So you couldn't just annihilate somebody, by turning your nitrous on or something like that. So
interesting. How cool, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, we got to get into some shootout stuff at the circuit. There needs to be some kind of, I don't know. We need something like that. Yeah, John Mayer's here.
It's really awesome too, because my car, we turn it up. We don't know if we're going to even get down that surface. Last year we spun as soon as we tried to turn up the power. So this year we just kind of, we haven't tested it, turning it up another 15 pounds of boost. And so it's kind of exciting for Jay and I to see if it'll work. And, this year it worked out. Like I said, we gave Jeremiah a pretty good run and, went from running 5:45s to 5 teens. That's a pretty That's a pretty big 137 miles an hour in the 8th mile.
Yeah.
She was a rowdy bee.
Yeah.
Well,
and Brian had to drive it a little bit. It drifted towards the center line. I was like, don't lift. And like, I see the car start moving back towards. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome. Let's talk about Roger real quick. So you said earlier you needed like a 599. I want people to understand. So Roger turned in a 588 on day 1 for 3rd place for day 1, and then turned to 558 in on day 2. So at that point, his average was like a 573, which puts you guys way, obviously at that point you're way out ahead. You're 546 or something like that. Yeah, 546.7 would have been your average after day 2. So you guys had a mile lead there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim Volkers, he's a local guy as well. And the Mustang, this yellow Mustang he was running, I think it was just 2 to 3 weeks before the event, he blew up the motor in it. It's a Coyote. I don't know. Is it like a Coyote R? Jay probably knows the platform, but
yeah. So it's Predator R, which is like a that's like the F-150 like Raptor motor, I think. And someone's gonna chastise me online, I'm sure, but like, so it's a Predator R, which I think that's like the F-150. Like
nice. I have no idea.
Yeah, but the fact that this guy, 3 weeks before the event, he like broke pistons. It was a catastrophic.
Oh yeah, hung the rods out of the thing.
And the fact that he landed another motor and got the thing back together is impressive in its own right. That he made the event and was in 2nd place after day 1 is pretty freaking awesome. So.
Yeah. And I think the other story, it's Tim's story to tell, but Tim is wheelchair bound, and like the fact that he's swapping engines and he's doing all these things like from a wheelchair, like
that's awesome.
When you think you've had a shit day, like Tim's persevering every day, and I think that's so incredible. He's Holland, so that's that way for me, right? Like I just like. Kudos to him because, Brian, if you hung the rods off of your motor 3 weeks ago, like you probably wouldn't be racing until next year.
No, I absolutely would not be. No.
And I don't race, so I don't have to worry about that. But again, just putting all of this in perspective, a lot of kudos to Tim. And then his co-pilot is Jim England, who does a bunch of tech for Sick Week and Drag Week. Yeah, he's got a machine shop down south of here, like near Tim, and he co-piloted with him. And again, kudos to those guys. Literally, it's Tim has multiple posts about this was a shakedown weekend, and the fact that I finished in 3rd is holy crap, beyond my expectations. This is awesome,
Yeah, he was on cloud 9 the whole weekend, which was really cool to see.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's run through some of these photos. Bro, the Blazer looks so good. The Nova does too.
Got the big tires on it in that other picture.
Yeah.
30.5-inch diameter street tires.
No way, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm guessing this is probably tech here.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. Or staging lanes maybe before a run. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was a good one too. Yeah, it's definitely got a street rod rake on the Blazer with the big
I
tire.
mean, with a 28, it looks a lot. It's
Oh, it looks incredible with the 28. The 31-inch tires, yeah, it's good for it.
Well, we found out the thing has like a 410 gear in the back, which is way too low for the street.
Yeah, but this shot here, deceiving when I first saw this, because dude, I think this was the first photo I came across.
That was a testing on Thursday night.
It doesn't show the color difference as much there as obviously when you're on the side like this. So, dude. I know y'all heard me tell the story 19 times, but I had a square body 2-door 2-wheel drive Blazer with a V8 in it in high school 25 years ago. And you bastards are making me want to build one again real bad. It was red too.
So here's like this wild connection for me. So Thursday night, Brian, maybe Friday morning, I think it was late Thursday night, I make a Facebook post welcoming like Kyle to Fast Act Racing. And all of a sudden out of nowhere, this guy's like, and Brian corrected me a little bit, but this guy's like, that's so-and-so's truck. It ran 1130s in 2003 in like Santa Monica, California.
What?
Fresno,
California.
Wow.
And then this guy, the guy that got tagged proceeded to be like, here's the picture. And then that picture was dated like 2006.
Wow, how cool.
From California. And then it's like this local guy ends up building it to what it is now. I'm like, what are the chances that this person from California, wherever he lives now, 24 years later or 23 years later, likes Fast Act Racing?
Dude,
like, that's the only way he sees that photo or sees that truck.
So he reached out on our post asking if it was for sale and that he was the original builder. And I didn't comment because, I mean, we just got it done. And then he reached out privately to Jimmer Klein saying, hey, I built that Blazer in 2000. So 26 years.
Whoa.
That's news to me. And I want to know if they want to sell it because I built it. And it's like, you know, we don't really want to sell it, right? But
right.
But it's really cool that the thing has such a unique paint job that it's very distinct. And yeah, this guy is just so excited to see it back out and would love to have it back. But again, we're not, you know, we're just getting started with it. So,
right. And for Brian Ekstrom, he just sent me a picture of a square body Blazer. He's like, don't be talking too much now. Like,
yeah. The thing got so much attention. I mean, a lot of local people know my Nova, obviously, but people were under the hood of that Blazer all weekend. And it was really cool to see. Because, you know, Kyle's not sure about the color. And I said, nobody's not going to be sure if that's you or not. When they see that orange Blazer, they know it's you.
We call it Circle K because that's like
it looks like the gas station.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was Kyle? What would Kyle think? Is, you know, because he's been to a couple like days of it. You know, he hadn't like done the whole thing. But what do you think about driving and racing and all that stuff? Tire changes and all that stuff.
Yeah, he had such a blast. I mean, he was hermagrinning the whole weekend. He like I said, he's kind of a prankster. He's a damn electrician, and I think they just prank each other all day at work. But you know, he just fit right in with the group that we were traveling with in the parking lot. I mean, he is definitely hooked. I wished he had, you know, more vacation time. He's probably only going to be able to do like something like this. He doesn't have the vacation to go to Six Summer or go to
Well, you know how that happens though. Like they do one and then they miss, like, you know, you guys will leave for Six Summer and he'll be like, oh shit, man, maybe I can get time off by drag week. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like trying to do the math.
Yeah,
the weekend events are definitely the gateway drug.
Yeah. He is super hooked, and like I said, Jay and I both the last 6 weeks really. I mean, I took some time off work to get the Blazer done, and some late nights because I didn't want to have him miss and wait a whole nother year. So it was it was pretty awesome to thrash and see the fruits of the labor. I mean, the thing ran as expected, and didn't have a ton of problems. We didn't know how it was going to drive or stop or turn, or a lot of unknowns at that speed. That car should go 135 in the quarter mile if you run it out. That's fast.
Yeah.
And he hasn't made any. He's been like 117 at 997 lifting. So
wow.
It should go 970s. Is what we think. So maybe. So
yeah, so it's interesting. So like, I think I maybe told this to Brian later in the weekend, or maybe I haven't yet, but I told it to some other people, and I was like, if we had a crap first day, like there was going to be like a team huddle, and it was going to be like, what's it take to get Kyle a hammer? Because I was like, Brian, like go run 590. I really don't care. Like Kyle's getting hammered. And then we had a good first day. I was like, shit, that plan's out of the window. Like,
we're on. Yeah.
So I got to tell
I'm
you
like,
guys,
can we get both a hammer? Like, how's this going to work? I'm like,
so listen, so just now, John Mayer just texted me and I saw it come across my phone. So he owns Michigan Critical Power. He's got that General Motors Chevelle that's orange. Mm-hmm. It's got the twin Torque Storm big block in it.
Yeah. We know John.
So anyway, he just texted me and said, so Kyle's an electrician. So he goes, let Kyle know we're hiring and we give time off for racing.
Hell yes.
Yes.
Let's go, John. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Kyle's coming back from the UP up, and he was working on the UP up Michigan. So he's driving back right now. He's probably watching. So
yeah. Submit to the resume, kid. We got to do this. For
anybody
who knows, Kyle loves hugs too.
The other thing that's cool about Kyle's truck, so it's Torque Storm supercharged, and they're local. They're Grand Rapids.
That's awesome.
Which is cool. Yeah. Like American made, they're sponsoring an event, a big, they call it the Spring Dust Off at Martin this weekend.
Oh yeah.
We're actually, so just because of like life, Brian and I are not going to race this weekend. We raced last weekend. We're going to be gone 2 weekends in a row for 2 weekends in a row for 6 summer. And so it's just like, I mean, there's a blue hot rod like right up there on Brian's. I wish I could like move my finger over. Yep. So there's a blue hot rod on the shelf at Brian's that needs some time. Yeah, I got you, Robert. I'll get you.
Yeah. Another racer that did the circuit and also dropped the hammer.
Yeah, and so we've got to kind of like, we need to like strategize like how we're gonna make this all work, and
yeah, it's tough, man. That's one of the hardest things, especially like in Brian's shop behind him there. I mean, there's a bunch of not project cars, but cars that need just a little here and a little there.
Yep.
Yeah, and the street rod, the orange car on the floor, that's no joke either.
Yeah, that's what he was saying before we jumped on the show tonight. He was like showing us over there. I mean, it got a damn new motor in it and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. That thing's 570 crank horsepower and 2,600 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should run 970s.
Probably, low 10s if you want to be ballsy with no roll cage. But
yeah. Okay, well, last part here, I want to run through Kyle's times, because to come out for the first event and be this competitive, end up 4th in 640 index, 644 with a 1 as an average badass, runs a 641 with a 5 on day 1, 647 with a 9 on day 2, and then 642 with an 8 on day 3. Pretty impressive. I mean, to come out with a truck that barely had any street miles on it and do that, and man, it's just really cool. So congratulations to Fast Act Racing for impressive times.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was definitely nice to see everything kind of come together, and all the Jay and I pay attention to the details. We try not to miss anything when we're putting these cars together, so that we can have the best chance at least making a good showing. So it was good to see that turn out our way for once. So yep.
All right, well, let's cut this segment here. Again, big shout out to Performabuilt, GM transmission build. It's all they focus on is GM transmissions. They've put a 4L60 in the 7s in a Camaro. I mean, if you can do that, you can probably do anything you could possibly imagine with a GM transmission. They're beginning to work on 6L stuff, and some 8L stuff is in development as well. So if you guys need them, performerbuilttransmissions.com, or hit us up. We'll get you in touch with Ryan and the team up there. AFCO Racing, this will kind of lead us into our last bit of the show here. AFCO Racing, for racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling brakes and more, AFCO Racing has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers, for racers. Check out the AFCO Advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance parts. AFCO Racing, built to win. All right, so you guys have done a few weekend events now. Back to back. The circuit, of course, kicked ass. Street Race Power Adder. He took second place in that one for the first time in 4 years now. I want your opinion. Help outsiders understand why they should attend weekend events and not just necessarily lay all the hope on a week-long event as your first one.
Yeah, as I said earlier, to me, you know, we've been doing Drop the Hammer in the circuit for, you know, the Drop the Hammer for 3 years, your event for 4 years. And it's completely a different vibe. You don't feel as rushed. You don't feel like you're getting 3 hours of sleep every night. Most of the regional events have some pre-parties and some checkpoint parties. And it feels more enjoyable. And it just depends on what you're trying to do. You know, if you're trying to win Six Summer, trying to win Drag Week, you're going to grind and you're going to, you know, get little sleep, and you're going to be at the track late and have a 250 to 300 mile drive. And it's just, they're two totally different feelings, you know, and vibes. So I think a regional event is more enjoyable just from the pressure and from the shorter drives. And that's I personally enjoy them more. I think that they're just less stressful and there's a little more camaraderie and a little more just jovialness. So they're kind of my favorite, to be honest.
Well, and Jay, you're next, so be thinking of your answer. But the competition at the circuit this year, and of course competition at Drop the Hammer, one having Larry Larson there, but then also Sean Skipper, Steve Morris, the Chevelle, the 815 cubic inch Chevelle. Like, the regional events aren't just a place where people are going as a fun time now. They're going for competition. I mean, these guys are landed. I think that's going to help the community really elevate these regional events.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, like your track conditions can have an impact on your ET.
Oh, for sure.
Like Six Summer, like we've historically struggled at Byron. Like the car run like 844 or like 862.
Man, that's so hard to watch.
Could I take an average, please?
Yeah.
And I'm like, when 862 again, I got to put more power in. 844, 163 miles an hour. I was like, where was that last pass? You know? And so I think like between like, here's the deal. The Ledfords at Mid-Michigan have been around the block forever. And Brian knows, like, I mean, they are bracket racers, like, through and through. And, like, we go there, like, and again, I'm just talking very openly, like, US 131 will hide every chassis sin you have. We will go there, we'll run 50 with an 8, 50 with a 6, 50 with a 0. And I'm like, yeah. And then we go to Drag Week, and the car goes like a 61, and then a 49 with a 2, and I'm like, this is like the same air and the same tune-up. Like, what is wrong? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, there's where it wobbled the chassis, and here's where the drive shaft spun, and da-da-da. Like, I can see it all in the data. And so Martin hides all that. And so, like, Mid-Michigan to me is like, it's got a little wobble in the middle, right? Like, there's a concrete to asphalt transition and all this kind of stuff. And like, and Mike and his brother helped me out, Jeff.
Yeah.
They do a phenomenal job with the track and all this kind of stuff. And so I encourage us to go to Mid-Michigan to test, because I'm like, we're going to leave good 60 foot. and the track's going to have a little bit of inconsistency in it, and we need to be able to like manage that, right? And to me, it's very much like Byron. It's what's Tri-State. There's similarities to both of those tracks for us, and like it's humbling in some regards, and it also helps us, because like you have to like build a car that like can handle like this vast majority of variation, yet still run a number.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
that's what I love about Drag and Drive, dude.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing too. Like, so circling back because you were asking about regional events, like you're not going to have the best track prep at a regional event.
No.
Like they might not be the big name tracks and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, so let's just talk about like Larson and Morris, the two biggest horsepower cars at the track. Mm-hmm. They didn't run the quickest ET every day. Mm-mm. Because the surface was like the equalizer.
Yeah.
And so like to me, like I don't know what Larry ran on day 2, but like after our first pass, like we went 5:42 and like Larry went in the low 6s, I think. He had a pass that was better than that, but like I mean after like
a 5:49, so I mean like technically you were faster than Larry Larson on day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
smoked
may have
his
had
ass.
One of the fastest radial passes of the day at Northern Michigan at 5:42, the one where we went under. I don't know that a lot of radial cars went that quick, which is just track management to Jay's point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. Like it becomes the equalizer and it's not no prep, you know what I mean? But like, it's still like, you have to race the surface you're on. Right. And building a car that will handle the bumps and handle adverse track conditions and all that kind of stuff. Like regional events, I feel like will teach you more about that than any of the national events.
Yep. That's the clip we were looking for.
I got a quick Steve Morris story too. When you
this is good.
So I feel like for years Steve Morris has been bugging me for a ride in my Nova, and I just haven't felt like I was ready to give him one yet.
This is great. I'll be right back.
And Sunday during the quick 16, he was the pair in front of me, and his crank sensor went out in his car. And so he coasted to the end of the track and was going to walk back. So I stopped and said, "Hey, would you like that ride now?" And so I was able to get Steve in the Nova and get him back to his pit. So yeah,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. We had a good, conversation on the ride back so I can say Steve has co-piloted with me through the pits at least.
Yeah. How fun.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was overall. I mean, Carl does a good job. I as you do. I think the regional events they're different, and it just depends on the flavor you're looking for. And Carl's event, I mean, most of the time the staging lanes had 20 or 30 cars in them. You weren't worried about I need one more pass or I'm not going to get another pass. And at the big week-long events, guys like me that might need 4 or 5 runs, you don't always get them. And that can be frustrating because of, the effort and the money you spent. And it's just, there's so many cars that it creates more opportunities for delays and oil downs and, just track downtime.
Yeah.
And it's a different vibe at these weekend events. So I personally think that anybody that's looking to get into it, that's a great place to start. And maybe what you end up deciding is what you like for the camaraderie and just the fun factor of it. There's still plenty of competition, as we've said. I mean, the 640 index class, my class was off this year, but in the previous 2 years, the 545 index class was, these guys were right. We were going right to the wire. Me and Roger last year had to kind of make a handshake deal that we had to have our time slips turned in by noon to be able to qualify for the quick 16. And we were still battling it out for first and second, and kind of basically had to agree that we were going to stop and focus on the quick 16. So there's plenty of competition, Adam, but it's just the shorter drives are probably the big factor. And and what makes them a little bit more enjoyable. You're just to the hotel by dinner time, and it just seems like just a different, relaxed atmosphere, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen this next year at the circuit if it works the way I want it to. So we're go ahead. Nope.
That's good.
In there.
Leads into the next question here, talking about the circuit. What do you guys think about, should we go to only one pass per day at the circuit versus the two? So
required, not mandatory. Required.
Oh,
yeah. Turn in one time slip per day rather than the two. So we looked at it, and for this year, the results would have been the same. You guys would have still finished second, but you guys would have been separated 8,537 to 8,539.
Okay.
So what do you think, the two passes versus going to one pass?
I think as you raise the entry and the car count up, I think that's got to be considered. You know,
we're staying at 200. Like we won't go more than 200. I don't want to do any more than that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be a consideration. If you're going to stay at 200, it's probably manageable. But when we did your event, 2 and 3 years ago, it was kind of like when you had that low 100 count. Carl's kind of got that where at times it's almost like the staging lanes can get empty. Well, if you want to round robin your car, if you're in an index class, the opportunity is there at least. And if you don't get it done, but so.
I mean, it will force more cars down the track for sure. I feel like year one, did Carl do 2 time slips? I feel like he did, Brian. And
I think he did too. Yeah. And now he's gone 1. Yeah.
Judgment Day is now 2 time slips at the same track, but they've done 1 beyond that. And there's some strategy there. I mean, we've talked with Tom at 10:30 at night in somebody's pit having some beers or whatever about these index classes. Do you do a chip deal where you get 12 chips for the week? And if you happen to be happy enough, there's so much strategy that comes into play. I'm happy enough on Monday, so I'm going to turn in this time slip. I'm going to now I have 11 chips for the remaining 4 days. And then it's I'm happy on day 2, so now I have 10 chips for 3 days. Oh, I'm going to make 3 passes on day 3. Now I'm down to 8 chips for or however it works out. Because I feel like you've got to give some level of you have a finite number of times to do this. The other thing that's interesting, and this is kind of like the bullseye challenge that Tom's doing. So I just saw today. So Glenn Payne from Mad Racing it was a 530 Assassins, he called it. He's up in he's in the Northeast. I don't know what track is his home track. But so they were doing 530, which is this little gangstas, that everybody's doing. They now have a floating index for their Assassins race.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's we're gonna take 850-ish type cars, and your index might be 530 this weekend. It might be 538 the next weekend. It might be 542 the weekend following.
Yeah, we did that with
the index around to get you to actually do some tuning on your cars.
Yeah, we did that with 650 last year, and it worked out really well. People paid $50 if they wanted to put in a number other than 650. They could do that. We pulled it out of a hat. It worked great. I think there were 16 people in the class, and 10 of them gave money, and those guys wrote their number down, and we ended up pulling 668 or something like that.
That is what it was. Yep.
Yeah. So it worked really well. My concern with going to one pass is right now we have 6 hours of track rental. Going to one pass, we're going to do 4 hours. I'm not going to keep 6 because once we announced you only required 1 for Saturday, people were gone. Yeah. Right. So 4 hours. Obviously that's less track rental cost. It's less opportunity for people to have to make a number. Right. But on our side, as I want to become a more prominent regional event, I want to be the best regional event that's out there. I want to be the best when people are fighting to get into our event, right? To do that, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday becomes tough if we have 2 oil downs like we did this time. You know, so you're changing it middle of the week, or middle of the weekend. Yeah, I think he was trying to flip it back up and hit
that phone tipped over.
Oh, he got. I don't know. I'm really debating on this back and forth on if we want to do one or two on, because we would keep one on Friday because of tech and all that stuff, but then two on Saturday and two on Sunday gives you 5 passes for the weekend. So it's hard. I mean, but at the same time, if you are trying to chase results, if you're trying to get the best possible numbers, one a day makes more sense. Like it would have lowered y'all's average if we had just done one, but the averages don't matter because I'm only keeping records for what you did at the circuit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do on that yet, but I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on 1 pass per day at the circuit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem either way. If you're going to keep the car count maxed at 200, I think you could still do 2. I mean, I think it does add a different element of strategy for sure.
Yeah, I think it gives spectators more of an opportunity to see stuff, because I can't imagine like you come in to see, Lord willing, we would get a guy like Larry Larson. He comes in, we've rented, they've paid $20 to get in. There's $60 for the people in their car. Oh, well, shit, Larry made his 1 pass. He was the first one down the track and he's gone. You're like, that's the reason I came here.
My first drag and drive I spectated at was Drag Week in 2016. And I showed up at the track. I don't remember where it was. I feel like it was, I don't know, it was Cordoba or something. Me and John Pranger went out there to spectate, to do some reconnaissance on potentially, entering one someday. And we showed up at the track about a half hour after racing started, to your point, Mike, and like 6 or 8 cars that we would have wanted to watch were already done and leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my thoughts, right? Like, I don't know if we'll get to that level where guys like that come to our event, but man, I would sure hate for people to because you really end up at 200 cars. You can run that in 2.5 hours, pretty easy to be done. If you run a track for 4 hours and people show up an hour late, they don't want to see, an empty set of lanes the last hour of their time being there. So I don't know.
Yep.
Anyways, you guys have been at a bunch of them. I thought that would be a good question to ask you. Okay, let's talk about 6th Summer, because it's coming up in a few weeks. Which class are you signed up for? I can't ever keep that one straight. And then
Unlimited.
Yeah, we're switching to unlimited. There's a new car sitting like right over here. over my shoulder.
It's over right here.
Yeah. So we will be doing a 6th Street race, which is the more limited 850 class has the 32. It's more the drag week rules. So the car has to weigh 3,200. It can't have a wing or a chin spoiler.
Stock suspension.
Yeah. So the 275 street race class that has a little bit more lenient rules and lighter weight. So we're going to be in 6th Street race, which is the class we typically fall into. We could probably run either, I guess, but we try to stick true to what the car fits. And so we feel like the car is ready. The last couple of events I think we've honed in on the tune-up. We felt like drop the hammer. We got some good data that can translate out to the quarter mile. And the big news for me, and I kind of revealed this to Jay at Sick Week in February, is Jay. So let me back up. So prior to this year's Sick Week, I have driven every street mile in a drag and drive in my Nova. And it wasn't a trust thing. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, it turned for me, it was almost like an Ironman thing. I had done it for a few years and then I had a streak and I just didn't want to break that streak. And so this year, Sick Week had a drive day like on Wednesday where we didn't race. And I sprung it on Jay in the morning when we woke up in Florida. I said, hey, you're driving today. So he drove the Nova for the first time on the street in Florida. And he was
I've driven it on the street, but like I've never driven in a drag and drive. I've driven it like 10 miles like around my house for a car show. Like
so he was like a giggly 10-year-old when I told him that.
Oh yeah.
And then I proceeded to also tell him that later in the year at Six Summer, he was doing all of the street driving.
Oh, how cool.
So
That's really cool.
Pretty excited. I'm not as good of a navigator as him, and I warned him about that. I don't want him to
I'm gonna be like, give me the phone, like let me get like all fuels up and find the E85 and all that shit.
This dude will have the maps up for the event. He'll have E85 up. He'll have a restaurant up, and he'll be multitasking. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing all that. So, So he's
like, I bought a magnet mount. It's gonna clip right here, and then you can watch it.
So I'm gonna be taking naps as Jay navigates.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because, man, it's just gonna be such a different feeling for you. But the problem is, that's no break for you because now, like, you can't just drive, like, in air quotes, you know.
Yeah,
you're gonna be there trying to multitask and where's that damn granola bar I can give Jay for a snack and like all this stuff. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, especially with Jay, like Jay is a very active, busy co-pilot. I don't know what everybody else is doing. I would assume similar, but he doesn't just sit over there and like, you know, take intermittent naps. He is looking at stuff and keeping track of our route and making sure we know where to find gas, and I mean he's humping over
Eric,
there.
what do I do? I'm a
you sleep. Yeah.
So
PAB, that's what I say to that.
Yeah. So
punk AB.
Yeah, if I get still for more than about 8 or 10 minutes, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like, I mean, like, and again, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn. Brian Ari has done that, but like, I'm like, hey, we're coming into like a town, like mile-hour change. I mean, like, I'm like hypersensitive about that stuff because it's like, hey, like, let's not pull over my Turbo Nova because I was going too fast. Like let's give you at least like, let's not give you 6 reasons to pull us over. Let's give you 2, right? Like,
he's keeping me in check on speed limits. He's keeping me in check on really curvy roads if it's getting late at night and he knows I'm getting a little tired. He'll be like, hey, these curves look a little sharp coming up. Like, you know, there's railroad tracks coming up. I mean, he's almost like how the rallycross guys are at, you know, he's really giving me play-by-plays. If he sees a pothole or something or a steep driveway, just making
Before headsets, that's what it was. It was 2 miles. Right.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's exciting. We've been looking forward to it for 6 months and it's finally here and I'm sure we're going to have a ball and hopefully we can contend for a win. I mean, TJ and Scott are coming to Six Summer and those guys are no joke. So, and neither is Cameron Alley. You know, him and his dad are tough. And so I'm sure it's going to be a battle. Especially for us 3. I don't know who else is coming, so I'm not discounting anybody, but Cameron, TJ and myself our previous, you know, we're guys that can run the number and have shown results. So it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy runs in the other 850 class, right?
Yes.
Yeah. With his illegal suspension.
Yeah. He's got illegal rear suspension.
Oh, I am not. No, not at all, Robert. No. No.
Jeremy has had that helmet so close in his hands. Like he's finished second by like 4/10,000ths of a second. I mean,
technically he won one last weekend, Brian. At
I know, but I think a drag and drive like a sick week is what he's really hungry for. I mean,
for sure.
I'm not discounting the sick festing at all or the speed fest, but I think he really wants a week-long drag and driving event, you know, helmet. So hopefully he gets it done. Like I said, he's super, he puts in the work and, you know, I'm sure Randy Seward will be there. Randy Seward runs that same class at Six Summer. I would assume he's going to be there, but I don't know. I haven't heard what he's up to, but
I haven't seen much.
They're both tough. Both the 850 classes have killers in them and, you know, there'll be some tight battles for sure.
Nice. So I got a note here, and Mike, I don't know what this one is, so you're gonna have to help me out here. Hot Rod Drag Week secret hype.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
What's
Yeah,
the other
Jay and I-
Come on,
Jay
read the rest of the
talked
note.
about
Read the rest of the note.
We're not dropping news or giving any clues here.
Yeah, Jay and I talked about this before your show, and he was like, "So," and I'm like, "Not yet." So
It's not close enough yet, but it's not close enough yet. We got to have you back on in like August.
Yeah,
or something
August
like that.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but we have been working on some stuff for almost 2 years. I mean, I'll tell you that.
And just so everybody knows, I don't even know. I don't.
No.
They won't tell me because they know I have a big fat mouth.
Yeah. No, very few people are in the know on this one. And we're probably going to make an announcement, and we can talk about doing it on your show or whatever, but probably,
please. Yes, we want that.
Probably August, and it will blow people away. That's all I can say. It's big news, and I'm excited about it. And it's been a lot of work, and Jay's heavily involved as well as some other support people that we'll talk about at that time. And
I almost slipped.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So but we'll be ready to make an announcement on that probably August. But
dude, I'm so ready. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Anything that you guys work on is top tier, and I can't wait to see whatever this is. I mean, y'all have done a great job of like really hyping my interest here. I'm like, God, I just want to know.
I'm thinking
you wouldn't guess it in a million years. I'll tell you that.
And that's what gets me. I'm like, damn, man. Like, golly, that's what's tough.
And in case anybody wants to challenge us, this is a video from February 25th. You can't see it at the top, but February 25th, I took video of Brian sitting right behind him, talking about this.
Voice post right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been very active for 4 months, and it's been 2 years in the making.
That's awesome. I can't wait, dude. I'm really excited, and I hope that I hope people are following this and are going to be as excited as we are about what this is.
If Brian tips his phone to the left at all, like that unlimited car is going to come out and everybody's going to know, but
it's like the Goldstone, you're going to bust out like a pro mod.
Yeah.
Is that what the
sportsman car like?
Is that what the new motor is? Is that what the new motor was for in the hot rod?
Yeah. The big news is the 6.2 and the hot rod.
Yeah. Getting turbos and stuff, and we'll eventually get a cage.
Yeah.
But
so if you don't already, follow Fast Act Racing on social media, and we'll definitely, if not late July, early August, we'll be talking to you, because I'd love to come back on the show. And we've got video, we've got pictures, we've got all kinds of documentation we've been working on with this. So yeah, it'll be cool.
That's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait, guys. Listen, thank you so much for being on tonight. Dude, should we just extend the show to 3 hours from now on if we have two guests on? I was
going to say, we got 22 minutes. Are we going 3 full?
No.
That's full, bitches.
No, I got so much stuff to get done tonight. And I got to get up early in the morning. I got to work on my old truck so I can get it. We ended up developing an exhaust leak, and I think we've lost the strap on a couple piston or spark plugs, and got to figure out some stuff on it, because I'm driving it to Rocky Mountain Race Week on Friday. So I need to get.
Well, keep us backstage. Let's talk for a minute at least.
Okay. All right. Big shout out to AFCO Racing Products. We appreciate them and all the stuff they do for us here. And if you guys haven't done it, AFCO, Eric Saffel and Rex French did an incredible job over the weekend at War in the Woods interviewing people. It was awesome to watch Eric's progression throughout the weekend. Like in the first 2 or 3, you could tell he's like, this is out of my norm. But dude, by the end of the weekend, man, he was rolling. It was really cool to watch that. So
yeah.
Next up, dude, next week's show is going to be nuts. We're going to have results from Streetcar Challenge. We're going to have results from Street Weekend UK. It'll be a midweek update from Rocky Mountain Race Week. So I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be at home. But I'll have been up there day 0 and day 1, so we'll have stories from that. We'll have all the fun stuff that's going on there, and then we've got Derek Putnam from Sick the Magazine on, and the Diehl Brothers, who took home like a truckload of trophies from Speedfest. So they're all three going to be on to talk about Speedfest and all the experiences they had there and stuff like that. I think it's going to be an incredible show. We're going to have a ton of fun. So, all right, let's end this thing, man.
All right. Oops. Appreciate all of our race car friends once again for tuning in all night, making comments. Appreciate all of you guys. And again, our sponsors, couldn't do it without these guys: Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performa-Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk. And we will see you guys on Saturday morning.
All right. See y'all.